A un nakotniku, ta je res butl. Ne vem, bojo, ali to isto, da
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reina.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And today we are
Talking with
with
Tabitha.
a little bit of noise on the line.
Be sure to go ahead and mute yourself. And then if we ask you for questions and we bring you up, we will ask you to unmute. But until then, please keep yourself muted. Be able to have some fun here. Be sure to write in on the chat and join our new community. It's called School. And we have something really exciting for you. We have something called whisper mapping. We're going to be talking about that throughout the series. And what whispers are those nudges, those chill bumps that you get, maybe the back of your, the hairs in the back of your neck stand up. Really, those are clues. And so when you start to hear some clues emerge, you can write those down, send them in on the chat. Mainly, we want you to put those in on our new community that we're hosting over at school. It's completely free. You can get signed up at howhustle.com/live. And then there's a button there that says to join the community. And please get signed up. Let us know. It's really cool because it's private. So
Yep.
it's its own private app. It doesn't have the, out there like the all the other apps and all the other socials. But if you do want to write in on the socials, we would love to have you join us there too at Instagram. So it's How It Hustle Live. And then of course, always on YouTube, because lots of people are watching in from our YouTube live channel. That if you are there, please like and subscribe. It always helps us to expand the consciousness of the show and to explain the community. This is really y'all's community. We're just here to guide the conversations and, take your requests and continue to be the hosts here. But it really is all about your whispers, your community. And we just want to welcome you in.
Yay!
Yay!
And,
So go ahead.
and please acknowledge yourself. Congratulations for being here. I think that sometimes we forget to even acknowledge, hey, I took a step forward. I am here to learn and I am here to really grow. So I want you to bring out your
Yes.
notebooks.
Yep.
And as the whispers come through the conversations, you'll notice a lot of overlap with some of the information. One speaker will say it one way, one speaker will say it the other way. And when we have that connection in real life, we also have that neuro connection in our head where we can then acknowledge more of these whispers in a bigger and greater way, so much that maybe someday we will actually 100% know that we create every single moment in this life.
Right, in this reality.
We just have to keep reminding ourselves and then keep forgetting and keep reminding ourselves and then keep forgetting. And then someday we'll actually realize, hey, what if my higher self is guiding me all the way through this entire life? And that's what we're trying to get everyone on Earth on board for, so that the world can operate as one planet if we ever do have some sort of necessity so that we operate together as one.
Oneness. So one of the things that I think is really funny is, like, have you ever heard of that? The struggle is real, right? The struggle is real, man. Well, it's like, to me, it's like, man, that amnesia struggle is real.
No.
You just be like,
in a way, we just recall anyway. So I think
exactly. And so it does say in the Bible, rejoice. So we've been in joy before in the remembrance of me. And the strong word here is the remembrance, right? The remembrance of the higher self, higher source, and ourselves as infinite beings. And so that is the oneness that we are hoping that you are using these whispers to remember throughout the series. And so what else? The other thing too. So we've got two examples of whispers before we bring Tabitha on, and just stick with us because we're going to go a little bit longer with Tabitha today. So we'll make sure she gets the full time as we do our intro here. So Jenna, tell us a little bit about your whisper.
So over the weekend, after getting ready for this launch, I decided I better head to the beach and chill out so I could actually have my nervous system ready for this launch. And while I was driving back yesterday, I first saw a road that I've never seen after probably 50 times driving this
Yeah,
road,
yeah.
and it says Whisper Road.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And then I saw rainbow,
Oh,
which I haven't seen in I don't know how many years.
really?
Yeah.
I see. I love seeing rainbows. And yours, you sent me a picture. We'll put it on the Instagram. It was super vibrant,
Oh,
right?
it was incredible in real life because sometimes you forget that
Yeah,
rainbows
I
are
know.
real.
I know. So
Then
get
God is
this.
like, oh.
So get this. I was I've been wanting and waiting for the movie Disclosure Day to come out. Let me see which one is that. The Disclosure Day to come out. And it was really fun. I like that my prop. And but we had a birthday party to plan and everything like that. So I didn't get to see it on the opening day, didn't get to see it on Saturday. So as soon as everybody was leave, I said, "Are we gonna go see the movie?" And my husband goes, "Yeah." And so he's like, "Let me get the tickets." And so as soon as he finished buying the tickets, we were kind of looking in the living room, and the rain had just fallen, and all of the decorations were still outside from the party, and they were like red and black and whatever. And all of a sudden, my son goes, "Oh, look, there's a cardinal." And he goes, "Look, he's coming up to the table and sits on the chair." And I was like, "Okay." And then Roy goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, he's on the chair." And I go, Where?" And so I'm looking, and sure enough, he's just there trying to get our attention. And my son goes, he said he was going to pull out his phone, right? And I think we kind of missed the time. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it must be because of the red, right? The red was attracting them." And I said, "I think that means good luck, right?" And so then we go off to see the movie. And in the movie, and I don't want to give anything away, this is my movie popcorn. And
We'll
in
be
the
talking about
movie,
it.
in the movie, they're referencing this red cardinal. So something happens after the red cardinal, then they show red cardinals. And I mean, it was craziness. I turn over, I look at my son, I touch his arm. He's not, they know that I do this with stuff. They love me for it, but they're not like fully all like, talking to me about it on a daily, right? Like I think a lot of husbands are that way, just or spouses maybe. But they come along eventually they come along for the ride, right? So anyway, I touch his arm during the movie, and I go and I mouth the words, "What the?" And he's like, he looks at me and he's like, and then he's like, he does the sign of the cross. And then I touch my husband. I look at him. I don't say any words because every time this cardinal comes up on the movie, I touch him and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like, "I don't know either." And so it was so cute that we all had that moment. And then get this. So I get on my phone and I realize that Jeneth had texted me because I turned my phone off. And I look and I see that she saw a rainbow. Well, on the way to the movies, y'all, I saw a rainbow too, and we were in two different cities, so I thought that was really cool. And that my husband and son had pointed that out. Anyway, those are whispers for us, and for me, I think it just lets me know that I'm on a really good path, and that the signs are all out there, just reminding me that I'm on a really good path. And I know Jeneth has her own meanings for her own whispers. And we have another whisper, if you want to just touch a little bit on it, about the word Theo.
Theo. Started channeling Theo. And
Yeah, and she has had no idea about Theo. And I started channeling Theo a while back, and I wrote down the name, and I was like, I don't know. Because Theo is very popular, that is being channeled and does showcase on Gaia television.
Yep.
And so when she said it, I nearly dropped my popcorn.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
So
as well.
so we've been running the show a little over 2 years, and I have tattoos all over my arms. They're mostly just dragons, one's of a galactic thing. And I've just kind of naturally had this draw. And so about a year ago, I just full blown channeled this entity, and it's very clear channeling. It was telepathic, and it was these Arcturian dragons. This has already gotten weird in the first 10 minutes.
Hey, that's the show, huh?
And so I've been channeling Arcturians, Arcturians, Arcturians. And then when this other entity came in, I'm like, who are you? Can you spell the name? Can you at least like give me letters? And it came out as a very clear Theo. And so I very much was like, okay. And they were like, we're just here to say we're supporting you and that you and Lianka have a connection here at Theo.
I love that.
So that was one of our oneness moments that, you know, those whispers come in, and I feel like the more we do this work, these veils drop, these veils drop, these veils drop.
And so
And
y'all
then
have a little
suddenly
bit, go
you're,
ahead.
yeah,
I was gonna
suddenly
say, go ahead.
she's like, go ahead, then she interrupts twice. That's all. I mean, you'll get to know us during the week.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have fun here. We
With
tackle
this.
big subjects
Mhm.
and we, there are tears sometimes, but we do have a lot of fun here. So I encourage you
We
to
try to
have that
keep,
as well.
yeah. Again, the community, you can find it at community.houthustle.com, or you can go to the live page. The link is somewhere up there in the chat. And as whispers come out, feel free to put them in the chat too. I'm going to go ahead and bring Tabatha up. I specifically, she's on vacation, specifically twisted her arm so that she would start the series because I felt so moved
Yes.
from the work that she did and the way that she communicated how it's so important to work through the body with consciousness and especially breath. And I used to do a program called Origins, and we do this orgasmic breath at the end and various different breath works. And I really uh, feel like it's just so important for people to really start with the body and the breath. So, Tabatha, welcome.
Hello, I'm so honored to be with you guys this morning. Thank you.
I am making her a special host. Don't usually do that for anybody else, but she has a process that I want you guys to experience later in this call. But let's start first. Tabatha, talk to us about how you got started with breath work and how you fell in love with 9D breath work. Now that you're making me fall in love with it too.
I know, right?
How did I fall in love with 9D breath work? I believe it brought all of like my favorite things together. It's a combination of several modalities. But what I learned is you can do a lot with the mind. You can do a lot with the subconscious mind. But until you learn to change the state in the body and really get to a point of safety, it is hard to heal and it is hard to optimize and move into another state. And with 9D breathwork, I not only was able to do that myself, now I've been able to help people all over the world become happier, more peaceful, more aligned, more spiritually aware, and have helped them move into states that they were desiring and couldn't get to in a short amount of time.
Yeah, Dana says on the chat, she says, yes, it's the best. I love your experience. It's
I'm so
amazing. Yes,
grateful.
personally experienced it as well. And I can't tell you how I had tears, I had release. I know something fundamentally in me has changed. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So first and foremost, breath is the fastest way to change our state. So why don't we this morning just take a moment and down regulate, come into the body, because
Thank
even
you.
unbeknownst to us, we are kind of in this fight, flight, freeze. And we don't even know because it's become our baseline. So in one breath, I'm going to have everyone just become a little more consciously aware of how they feel in their body and how their brain works. So I'm going to count us in, but we're going to breathe in through the nose if possible. The nasal breathing is your first, it's your filtration system for the air to come into the body. But when you breathe in through the nose and into the belly, most people breathe in and they tighten their core and they bring their abs in. And what we want to do is we want to inflate the belly like a balloon. So we're going to breathe deeply in through the nose, into the belly, and then we're going to breathe out through the mouth longer on the exhale. And when you do it, I would love for all of us to make a bit of a sound, if obviously, if you can in this situation, but a little bit of a sound like you're breathing through a straw, because what that does is it stimulates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the largest nerve in the body, goes from the brain to every single organ, and it helps the body feel safe. You cannot do healing or optimization until you're in a state of safety. So that's what we're going to do. In 3, 2, 1, take a deep breath in through the nose, inflate that belly, and breathe out longer on the exhale through the mouth.
Ooh.
That one breath brought the heart rate down, brought your blood pressure down. What I find really cool is it also brought more blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, where that's where you make decisions. That's where you make choices, and you can come from an aligned state as opposed to what most of us do all day long, which is in reactivity. One breath. So let's do one more, because the more you do, the more it starts to optimize, automate, because breath is the part of the automated nervous system. So we take it for granted. So if you could just even set a little alarm, a nice alarm in your phone a couple of times in the day to take a pause, because we think we have to go, 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 go. We're asked to do more in less time over and over all day long. But if we look at music, the magic happens between the notes. And if we actually had the pause, we would hear more whispers. We would know and feel more alignment. So let's breathe all together in 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. And breathe out longer on the exhale. That puts us into what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest, digest, heal. And I believe that's where we can really feel into our own alignment, and that next, those nudges, that's when we actually can tap into them. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel ready. It's funny, as soon as you brought in the whispers, the whole symphony started screaming at me to bring in the symphony, which is how I experience it today, is that we are all these beautiful genius notes within the symphony, and we all have whispers for others. And so many people are on this planet just with a lot of self-interest, with a lot of selfishness. And I find that when we work with the nervous system and the breath, we even have more compassion for others. Do you know, or can you tell us how that works chemically, neuroscience? Do you know how that works?
There's so much in what you just said. First of all, I want to thank you for trusting me and allowing me in this space with your beautiful community. What you are creating is really safe, and I think it's going to be really expansive for so many people. So to answer your question, your body is the best pharmacy. It's the best pharmacy that you can tap into. Even just if you were to take your hands and rub them over your arms, you're going to release oxytocin. Oxytocin is that chemical that within the body that feels connection, that feels safety. So when you ask, how does the breath connect with alignment and expansion? The breath allows for a particular feel in the body, but there are different ways you can manipulate the breath in order to get into a state called transient hypofrontality, which allows you to quiet the conscious mind, which can be those ruminating thoughts that actually some of them do us very well if you talk nicely to yourselves. And we're going to do a lot of that today, but allows you to quiet that and open up the subconscious mind. And the body wisdom through the breath can release, and I know you have experienced a little bit of this, can release what is no longer needed in the body. We hold a lot of tension, we bring a lot in, we shove a lot down, we suppress a lot, we hold a lot. And what the breath does is it allows that to be released. So oxytocin, we get dopamine, we get serotonin, we get safety, and we get expansion through breath work.
Thank you. And as Joe Dispenza would say, all those chemicals are also the chemicals that take us into deeper coherence. And that's really what we're here to do, is to bring in some of the coherence with the field and the others that are playing with the field as well. So I just wanted to put some of the connection together there. Tabatha, we talked yesterday about you doing an experience. Do you want to go ahead and start with that, and then we can talk about it after?
I think it's fun.
Some
What I'd
deep,
love to do, if you're okay, is explain what 9D breathwork
Yeah, let's
is.
do it.
fabulous.
Because if you were, I had the chance to share with you before. And
Mhm.
so if they go back to that particular episode, I shared a trailer explaining it. And what I'd like to do is, breath is the medicine. Breath is the most powerful, and it can do so many things to unlock what is hidden inside or suppressed inside or ready to let go of or ready to optimize. Breath is the power. But along with breath, we bring in, with 9D, we bring in music. And music evokes emotion. When you bring a thought and an emotion, it locks it in to the subconscious. When you bring music, you bring breath, it also allows what is ready to come out or be realized to come into alignment, to expand. It allows it to come to the conscious mind, to the surface. We not only use music and breath, we use subliminal messaging. Subliminal messaging allows for that current to go into your mind and lock it in. We use neuro-linguistic programming, which is just really powerful language, because we speak. You'll understand this. We speak all day long over ourselves. And
Whisper.
it is a whisper.
Whisper.
So we speak over ourselves. And if you think of the words we use and you think of spelling, spelling is putting the letters together, but the words we use actually cast spells
They
over
do.
our heads,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is a
We
bit
say words are
mystical.
codes.
They
code.
are,
Yeah,
but it's
throughout
more,
this reality.
people will say, Tab, I don't know. I did one session and my life is completely changed.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
it's not magic, it's neuroscience.
Yes.
What we're
Love
doing
it.
is we're programming that reticular activating system to optimize the perception, how you're viewing your life and how you're showing up and what you're noticing. So 9D breathwork does that with music, subliminal messaging, NLP. It also uses binaural beats. So I could go on, but today what we're going to do is a short activation. And no matter where you are or what you're doing, if you just simply listen to this, it's going to change your life. This
Woo-hoo-hoo.
is going to have Mel Robbins, Lisa Nichols, and Brene Brown, as well as the founder of 9D Breathwork, going to be in your ears. And if you have headphones, I would say pop them in. And if you don't, it's totally fine. Breathe as deep or as shallow as you wish. If you want to do this in down regulation, just breathe in through your nose. Longer on the exhale. And if you feel that you're ready for a little bit of an activation, you're ready to spice things up, see what can be activated in, then I invite you to breathe through the mouth. It's very different because it's going to activate. Heart rate's going to go up. Blood pressure is going to go up.
As
Blood
opposed
flow
to the
is
down
gonna go
earlier.
away from your head and into your body to release what's in there. So you do you. You are the captain in all of my sessions. And I really hope your viewers, if they're intrigued, come to my website, come and learn more, do a 30-minute discovery call with me to see what's possible, but you're going to feel it right now. It's such a,
Yay.
I think this is an amazing way to be able to start your summit, to have people really feel the whispers.
Yes.
So breathe. If you'd like to do activation, it's through your mouth. Watch what
And
happens.
it's all belly, right?
All belly, but in through the mouth and as deep as you want. Just remember, at any time, if you feel uncomfortable, close your mouth, breathe through your nose, and breathe longer on the exhale. But you're guided the whole way through. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the whispers.
Yay.
Put them all in the community, you guys. Houthustle.com/live. Look for the community link.
And do you want to mute us so that we're not like distracting
We can't
people?
mute. We're not breathing heavy.
Welcome to this 9D breathwork journey experience. If you've ever doubted yourself, felt the weight of fear holding you back, or questioned if you really have what it takes to rise, then this session is for you. It's your reminder that deep inside, you already have everything you need. The strength, the courage, and the resolve to take whatever next step you need to keep moving forward. All the breaths will be in and out through your mouth, but if mouth breathing is too intense, feel free to switch to nasal breathing at any point throughout this session. Before we begin, take a moment to affirm to yourself, I am capable. I am ready. I can do this. Lie down. Close your eyes. Start to become aware of your breath. Let's begin.
I was willing to completely die to any form of me that I had been, so that I can birth the woman that I was becoming. The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been.
Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Challenges aren't part of the path, they are the path.
See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You're trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you gotta rescue you first. I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go. Go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them.
I'm capable of achieving great things. I can do it. I'm in control of my destiny. I trust myself to succeed. I'm strong and resilient. I'm bold, brave, and capable. I have everything I need within me.
My motto is choose courage over comfort, because you can't have both. And if you think you're being brave and you're super comfortable, you're not being that brave. Many times we make subtle decisions that don't seem to be a big deal. But what we often fail to realize is that where you are today is the result of all of the decisions, big and small, that you've made up until this point. The good news is, even if you are not where you want to be right now, you still have a chance to rewrite your script.
I'm worthy of success. I believe in my ability to thrive.
So this is that time when you look up and you go, wait, what part of me has to die away so the next part of me can be born? What part of me needs to sit down so the rest of me can stand up? What's on the other side of my fears? What's on the other side of my procrastination? I want to see what's on the other side of my hesitation. What's on the other side of my putting me last?
You've been telling yourself that you can't. Listening to the doubts, listening to the excuses, the voice that says, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? But let me tell you something. That voice, it's wrong. You can do this. You are built for this. Everything that you've been through, every challenge, every setback has prepared you for this moment, right here, right now. There's a fire inside of you. Maybe it's buried. Maybe it's just an ember right now, but it's there. And all it needs is for you to feed it, to believe in it, to breathe into it. You've got the power to ignite that fire, to turn it into something unstoppable.
Yes, it's frustrating when you do not accomplish what you've expected to accomplish within the time frame that you set. Yes, all of us want our journey to be a straight path. But in actuality, your journey will have unexpected stops. It will have curves. It will have hills. It will have valleys. You will have sunny days. You will have rainy days. But you have to decide. If I encounter rejection, if I encounter frustration, if I am disappointed, I will not give up.
Take a big breath in and hold.
You gotta believe in you, bank on you, trust in you like you never have before. And every single thing that you've ever done, every single thought you've ever had, every single decision you ever made, built you for such a time as this, and you are perfect for the job. And your job is to make sure that this planet knows that you were here. This planet knows that this is your time. This is my time. Say, it's my time. It's my time. Say, it's my time. See, when you say that, you stop wondering what's around the corner. You stop wondering, well, what if it doesn't work? You'll find another way to make it work. There's not one what if, not one what if that justifies you sitting down on your dream. Not one what if. Not one what if. Are you willing to say, my life has to make a huge difference? Because it's my time and it's your time. The world needs you like never before. It's your time.
Let it out in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Second round. Coming right on back.
You have no idea of the breathtaking future that's on its way to you, that's asking you, please let me through. Please let me through. When you decide that you are good enough, when you decide you give yourself permission to have it all, have all the love, have all the health, have all the wealth, have all the abundance, have all the prosperity, when you give yourself permission, it's like the inside of your champion is saying, let me out. Ooh, let me out. And when you let me out, I ain't ever going back in.
I trust the process of my journey. I'm grateful for my progress.
I was willing to inconvenience my entire life. My entire life. I was willing to disrupt my entire life to buy my future. To buy my possibility, to give my dream a chance. See, we're not supposed to tuck our dreams in on the pillow when we get up in the morning. We're not supposed to leave them at home. Fulfill somebody else's dream. We're not supposed to do that. That's not what we're wired to do.
I'm building the life that I deserve. I rise stronger with every challenge.
Your human spirit simply says, what's our command for tomorrow? What do you want to create? It's not keeping score. Your brain is keeping score because your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar.
When the path feels steep, just remember you're built to climb. One step, one breath, one moment at a time.
This is your your change time. This is your evolution time. This is your rebirth time. This is your re-choose time. This is your recalibrate time. This is your redirect time. This is your time. This is your time. We all came together to remind you that you are at the right place at the right time with the right people with the right thoughts. It is in your imperfection that you are perfect for such a time as this. At whatever your age is perfect. You needed to have all those years behind you, or you need to have all those years in front of you. No one can do it like you.
Yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, you're gonna have days where doubt creeps in. Good. That means you're doing something that matters. Because nothing worth having has ever come easy. The people who win, who succeed, who thrive, they're not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who push through it, the ones who look fear in the eye and keep moving forward in spite of the fear. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop asking yourself if you're ready. You are ready. You've always been ready. And even if you stumble, even if you fall, you'll get back up because that's who you are. Someone who rises, someone who keeps going, someone who doesn't quit. You can do it. You've always had it in you. Now is the time to prove it. To yourself, to the world, to anyone who ever doubted you. So get up, move forward, breathe deep, and go get it.
Are you willing? Are you willing to do that thing you've never done before? Are you willing to stand at the edge of your own greatness? Are you willing to look at your fears? Are you willing to recognize that you can be afraid? Are you willing to look at the fact that there is always healing to come? There's always growth to come. There's no arrival. Are you willing? And then in the space of that, are you still willing to lean to the edge? Lean to the edge.
Every great journey starts with a single breath, and you've already taken it. Now just keep going. This is your time. Your moment to step into the person that you were always meant to be. I can do this.
See, so many of you want to play big in the world, but you keep making it optional. And every time it gets too hard, you sit it back down. The moment you make it non-negotiable, not an option, slide every option off the table, you're not wondering about the mountain and how big it is because you said you must bow down.
Take a big breath in and hold. Doubt might whisper, but your determination will always roar louder. You're capable of creating something extraordinary. Start now. Start right where you are. Every time you believe in yourself, you rewrite your story of what's possible for your life. You're not your doubts. You're the force that keeps pushing through them. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, I can, I will. Watch me. Let it out in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go.
You can wiggle your fingers. I know it was a lot. There's so much more. There's another 5 minutes in that. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, give yourself a bit of a rub and a hug. You got a feeling of what 9D breath work can.
Watch me.
And I saw many of you yawning and moving and twitching, and I honor your process. That is the body allowing its release. It's the body, and if there were some tears, that is so normal. And if there were some sounds, I honor, you were all on mute, so not to worry, but I honor you. And that shows you the power within the body to let go of what you don't need, ignite what is inside of you. And if there were any phrases that locked in and really made you think, man, I can, I will. Watch. I just want you to know
Yeah.
I'm here for you. Thank you for trusting me, ladies.
Did anybody hear whispers in that audio?
Oh gosh, I did. I saw so much. I was like, watch me. Yeah. I want to talk about it. I can't.
I would love to hear your feelings in the chat. Just kind of let it all out. Just say lighter, empowered, whatever
Yes.
word and whisper comes through. Just go ahead and pour it in the chat. Pour
Katie
it in the
said,
chat on YouTube. We'd love to hear it all.
Katie said, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Dana said, thank you. That was beautiful. It was releasing for myself and the collective, lots of energetic visuals. I agree. A powerful journey. I floated out of the body.
Wow.
I gotta catch my
It
breath.
feels a little high.
I'll take a little bit of
I
time. I call this
do.
the delicious, the flow.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Enjoy. Enjoy.
Yeah.
really powerful, Shara says. Really powerful. And it continues to work too.
I think it's important for us to recognize that this is more than just I am statements. You're utilizing your body, moving energy through your body, embracing these mantras, embracing the binaural, I can't even speak anymore, binaural beats that allows your brain to come into better coherence. That's why this works. This is,
We are here.
I mean,
This
this
is
work
oneness.
was really studied
Yes.
to how, this can change a person's body. Whew.
Christine.
It's so fascinating to me. I know I listen to the whispers and the nudges, but I'm still in awe of the energy that I can feel and the safe container that you have created and then allowed me in. Thank you. I could feel the releases. There was a beautiful oneness.
Love.
There was a lot of back body, which is
Mhm.
old, almost like resentment that because we all have it and some
Hiding
of it
behind you. Yeah.
ours, some of
Right.
it
Some of it is not ours. Yes.
and there were some beautiful releases happening and I'm so grateful. I work out of Niagara on the Lake in Ontario, Canada, and I'm currently celebrating my 30th wedding anniversary
Oh,
in Dominican.
congrats.
And
fun.
you are in the States, so I'm sure your listeners are all over the world, but this just shows how we are one.
Yes.
So thank you for creating this container.
Yes.
Tabatha, we're so grateful for you.
Well, I know we put together a new adventure for you that everyone can partake in. Okay, I feel like everything's been like scrambled in reverse. Everything's the opposite of what appears to be, nothing's opposite of what appears to
That's
be
a
right
whisper.
now.
There we go. And
Uh,
Katie says congrats and thank you.
if-
Thank you.
If you're looking for the offer, you can find it at houthustle.com/live, next to Tabitha's name at the top. Also, while you're there, go to the community and join us on School. When we have our breaks, I'll go ahead and let everyone in. Share your whispers, your insights, your whatever you want. Just pour it out. I have a specific feed just for whispers over there if you want to add to it. If you want to add to pictures of whispers, you can
Yeah.
add it to that one.
What visuals did you get? Someone got a dragon and something simultaneously.
Mhm.
And did you want to share with everybody what
Yes,
the
let's
invitation
go.
that Tabitha brought for us today?
Absolutely. Uh,
I mean, I did a session with Tabitha. It absolutely changed my life. I'd never experienced anything like this. We've been doing this work for a long, long time. And I immediately came over to Jeneth and was like, we've got to be talking more about this. We've got to be sharing this work with more and Tabatha more, because oh my goodness, it is such an integral piece. It was very clear to me. And then Jeneth said, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
She knew too.
So is it okay if I talk about the offer? Because
Yes,
I would
do.
love to create a beautiful community. It's the calm you've been craving for. So it's a down regulation. Now, we did a bit of an activation. If you were breathing through your mouth, you could feel what was happening in the body. This is safe for absolutely anyone. And I work with the Canadian Lung Foundation as well. So like, I just want you to know that this is a safe modality. You go as deep as you want. If you have questions, contraindications, just come to my website. You can book a 30-minute complimentary discovery call to ask any of your questions. But this offer, I would love for as many of this community to come in and do it's a 90-minute breath work. So you're going to be on your bed or on your couch or on your yoga mat in the comfort of your home with hopefully headphones, because there's surround sound, there's the binaural beats, there's the subliminal messaging, and it's all about rest, rejuvenation, alleviating stress and anxiety, coming back to safety. And I just want you to know, I work with kids, I work with teens, I work with adults, I work with couples. This is the perfect journey for you to do a reset and just really align with the body, give this back to yourself. And the energy that we could create on Zoom, it's a Sunday, it depends. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So I did it the same time as today, which is 9 a.m. on a Sunday, Pacific time. And I will offer the recording as well if you can't make it live. And the nice thing about the recording is you can do it over and over and over again.
Yes.
I'm going to teach 5 different breath patterns, all in the down regulation, in that rest, digest, heal. I work with cancer patients. I work with their caretakers, people that look after other people, which is probably all of you. This is going to be an amazing gift to yourself to just come, breathe, and connect with the community, and then integrate after. But it's not even as activating as what you just did, which I hope you really enjoyed. But this is going to be a lot of rest, digest, heal. We're going to let go of maybe some of the self-soothing patterns that we all have. No guilt, no shame. Let's just let go so you can step into your best health, your best vitality, your best life. Let me know if you have any questions about the offer, but it's a group session, a 90-minute 9D down regulation breathwork journey.
Just confirming this is July 19th, not June 19th.
July.
Great.
So there's a lot of time to plan ahead.
Lots of time.
Invite your family and friends.
Yes, I was just thinking
huge.
about that. This would be a great introduction for my son and husband, and this is definitely something I know that they could get on board with doing, right? I was
My
talking
boys do
about.
When they're really struggling, they'll call me, and I'm so grateful. They'll say, "Mom, I need some breath work. I don't want to talk.
I love that.
I don't want to talk about it, but I need to breathe." And the girlfriends will ask me, because they're like,
Yeah.
Your son needs some breath work.
Hey, that's very cool though, because I just talked about how, my son and husband they know I do the woo stuff, but they're not having conversation with me about it. But this is definitely something that they could get behind because they understand the science, right? They get that. And it's something that you can share with your kids, like you said, and they don't have to talk about it. They know, and then you know that it's doing something for them. Right. It's in the girlfriends. I love it. I love it so much. That's very cute.
Yeah.
What I'm so grateful for, and there's so many things with understanding this modality, is the conversations we have after. I found breath work when I really needed it, when I was struggling with functional depression after my mom passed. I was a caregiver for 10 years. So I deal with a lot of families with breathing through grief and loss. And when they all breathe the same journey, and then they take the headphones off, Because if you're in
Yeah.
person, we use headphones. Otherwise, just like online, I do most of my work all over the world online, and I work with families. The conversations when they feel safe, when they are calm, and they have a chance to do the reflecting. When do they ever get off their screens for more than 5 minutes?
I know.
But an hour-long journey, and then you bring them together for discussion. I work with a lot of couples going through difficult relations. The kindness that pours out of them, the honesty that pours out of them after a journey, because you have to create safety and new
Yeah.
space for a new way of thinking. And that's
Yeah.
what I get to do. That's why I love my work. I really hope your listeners feel it.
Yeah. I really sense that this will change a lot of lives. Just, integrating breath and integrating it with the nervous system. And it just makes so much sense. And the way that it's put together in these audios that, are just so empowering. It's just really a
Well,
delicious pleasure.
it's really clear that the 90 is what's I feel that kind of makes the difference here, because we've heard about breath work in the past. We've there's been studies on breath work, but as a single subject, and when the combination with the music, with the subliminal messaging, with the I mean, course, but the other elements is really what does the change. It's the combination of utilizing all of this to really change
Yes.
rewire your brain.
Yes.
Yeah, and so to get out of that old patterning that sometimes that are so, I call it, it's insidious almost. It's like it hides in there. And while we think like, oh, I got to it through therapy sometimes or whatever it is, it hides. And so this is, I think, what really takes that to that next level in ways that I can't even describe. It's really, really it's phenomenal. Thank you.
And you guys, this is the lowest offer of all the offers. It's $37. And you get to keep the 90-minute
Yeah.
audio to do it whenever you're stressed out. I think that this is probably the most irresistible, well, one of them. There's going to be a bunch here. It's really hard to make something absolutely phenomenal for all of you, for everyone. So we're
really
just getting started here.
But
I really
the truth,
wanted people to
Yeah.
understand what's possible within
Yeah.
the body and
Yes.
be introduced to 9D breath work. I charge this at $300 a session.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Like, if you can't tell that we really want to create change here and help change the world between, the three ladies that are sitting here today, then I don't know what is, because this is quite the invitation and honoring of your work. So thank you so, so much. I'm speechless for that. So thank you.
I know. I feel like this is life-changing. I mean, and all of
We
these,
mean it. Yeah.
and not to all of these sessions will in some way be life-changing for certain people, and the ones that you'll be called to. The offer is at hustle.com/live. The link is above in the chat. And if you go to that live link, you can go ahead and click on near Tabatha's name at the right. And I won't say this for every single speaker, but just go ahead and click by her video. If you have a YouTube link later, it'll be in the caption or the comments as well. So they're everywhere. We try to really give our speakers some exposure. So please, but if you do have any questions, just let us know. It's hustle.com
Or write us.
/live, and then look for Tabatha's name, and you'll see the link over on the right. There's a lot of offers that'll come up during the show. So just, be really clear on what you're choosing. And And remember to mark your calendar because you don't want to miss this experience. Holy cow, I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll be there. We can chat about it on the school. Like there's so much change that can happen here. And if you really think about it, whenever you have change, and I wanted to say this earlier, I thought about my light igniting, right? Because I'm coming in, we just had a big weekend, and I have all these really great things that tell me that I'm on path. All these whispers have been happening. And then, but sometimes I get in the muck of things, right? I was like, I gotta get ready. The last thing I wanted to do was wake up this morning. But once I did, I knew what I was doing and I knew what I was coming here for. So, to do the show, to give these great messages. And so when I got on and I did this today with you, Tabitha, I was like, yes, I'm empowered. I know what I'm here to do. Like it makes me sing, it makes my heart sing. And I thought about my light being ignited again. Even getting to do what I love, sometimes there's the muck, right? Sometimes there's the things. And so when my light is ignited, I know that I'm igniting the light of others, not just because I have the platform where we have the show, right? The light that you ignite within yourself ignites the light of others. It not even just around you. It's almost 873 other people ignite as well. It's been told in the scriptures, right? Like, but the point is that when we can ignite our light is how we change this world, y'all. Like this is real stuff. This is big. This is what we do. And Tabitha clearly has given us a way to do this by discounting this at a very, very, very,
Remarkable price.
yes.
Yes.
And if she couldn't give it free, because we got to be honoring of her integrity and her time and her work, but this is damn near free, right? Like this is amazing. Thank you so much. And so that's just clear to me that we are all here to want to change the world.
Yes.
And to just be a better place that we want to live in.
Yeah.
That was my
We're just
PSA for the day.
to put a toe in, right? Just put a toe in. Just come with us and your life will change.
Choose yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Tabitha, some of the things I want to ask some of our speakers, and I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So we are at a time of disclosure, and I know that a lot of us who have had more expanded lives really have awareness on UFOs, UAPs, and even the galactic and how they speak to us. What is your experience on that, and what do you see next for disclosure?
Wow. That's a loaded question. I wasn't expecting it.
I was like,
People
I
are
that one
like
before.
asking
Surprised you
me
asked Tabitha
about
that.
neuroscience and whatnot, but
Or what is your what is your experience about faith? Like what is your experience when connected with your higher self as well?
oh,
Think of that.
through breath,
Yeah.
I connect with my higher self every single day.
Yeah.
It brings me back to letting go of the ego and stepping into my divine presence.
Yeah.
And what do I believe is next? I believe that we need to unite. We need to lead with love. We need to be there for each other. And most important, we need to believe in the light that is within ourselves. And I think that's why my work is so important right now. If you ask me really what I do, is I help people fall in love with who they actually are and connect back to their divine presence. And when we do that, I believe what is next is utopia.
Yes.
And we all have to do our own work without the shame, but we all have to come back to the light. Yeah. So that's what I believe is next, but I do think we've got a lot of work to do, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do.
Yes. And thank you for doing what you do, because it is quite amazing. All right, you guys, the link again is houthustle.com/live. Any final words, Tabitha, that you would?
I'm just very grateful to be a part of your community. I love what you are doing and the space you're creating and the abundance that is next for you and your listeners. And I would just say, if you don't love how you feel or how you're showing up in the world, this is your whisper. This is your nudge. You've got some people here who really want to support you. I would encourage people to go to Tabatha.online, book a
Yeah.
30-minute discovery call. It's free. Let me
Mhm.
give you some breath tools that are going to change your state, change your mind. And then I'll help you fall in love with who you really are meant to be.
Thank you.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Tabitha. And thank you for joining us and kicking off this summit so,
Yes.
so wonderfully.
Thank you for
Absolutely
having me.
amazing. Thank you. You guys, we have 15 minutes here, and we've got a lot to talk about in those 15 minutes. First, I want you to know we have a chat going on here. And if you're on Zoom, please open up the chat and say hello, where you're calling in from. We're just getting started here today. I would love to meet some of you out there that are too shy to put your name and your location in the chat, but we would, oh, New Jersey, hello and welcome. But I would love to just activate some of you to take some of those actions that you're shy about
Danny.
taking.
From
Danny from
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts,
Hola.
welcome. I know that sometimes it's easier just to come on and not participate, but this is a group that if you participate, change will happen a lot faster. And it's also a community that we love each other and we really do want to know what your whisper is. So
Yeah.
no matter how small you may feel.
So the community really is built on no judgment, a place of kindness, of love. We're all on our own journey. We kind of say, Jennifer likes to call our group like the how group, the howdies, the Navy SEALs of consciousness. We may not have all the best questions because we're all on our different journeys, but we all have a piece of the pie. We all get a clue. We all have our whispers that we contribute. And because we all have our own signature resonance, means that we really are meant to be here to support one another. And that is what we call oneness, right? So want to hear about your whispers, want to hear about, and another one came to mind right now. So if we've got time, I'd like to talk about 2 seconds about a dream and then something that came through the movie and then how it brings it all in,
I
right?
love it.
So Tabitha just talked about the kindness that she'd love to see more in the world, and that that is, a place that maybe we've gotten a little bit of lost. And having that kindness for ourselves. Well, I was having a dream, and the dream was it was telling me, I kept getting this word, and it was like, the world is missing glucose, the world is down. And I was doing a test, and I took a test, and it was like, the world is, it's only at 20% and you need like 80, right? And it was like, you're low on glucose, the world is low on glucose. And I was like, glucose, weird. But I knew it was a sign, or I had it because it was like spelled out, and it was like the test, and it showed me like the way you get like a lipid test or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is strange. And so then I was telling my husband this, and I was like saying how I said, but I knew the word was a message for the world, right? He goes, sweetness. We're low on sweetness. We're low on kindness to each other. And I go, oh, that's it. You're absolutely right. Well, in the movie, they did a whole like a little speech about it. It was like, that's what, we were lacking empathy, that the world is lacking empathy. Well, what causes that? It's the kindness, the sweetness, the empathy for each other, right? Like, we have gotten in our own silos with our own screens and our own time, that we've forgotten to just look upon each other with more compassion and just honoring of each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're all going through this human experience, the hero's journey, and we forgot to just honor each other's journey. So each person has a piece of this whispers. I thought it was really cool that that was another one that came through. I was like, I turned to him, I grabbed his hand, I was like, glucose. That's what he's saying. Isn't that funny? Glucose.
I was like, have you been doing too much of that keto diet of yours?
And so that's, I've learned to, but I've also write down my dreams all the time. So I've really learned to kind of really decipher them.
Yeah.
And I learned that from David Wilcock. So
I love
yeah,
that. Wow. Wow. So talk to us about Disclosure, the movie. I don't give too much away.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what you expected. Like, do you think that?
I don't know what I expected. The trailer was very coy, right? You saw Emily Blunt with her doing her like, right?
Yeah, from
And it
Trudy.
makes me laugh. It was really cute. They she's a weather chica and she goes through this, she sees a cardinal, so I'll give that away. And all of a sudden things are not the same after that cardinal,
Do you think
which
she
is
was
so crazy
was
that I
she
can't
channeling
cardinal.
light language? Is that what you would say?
I don't
It's a
know.
language.
I mean, it's the language of the extraterrestrials, I
Okay,
suppose, because
yeah.
they give that away in the trailer as well.
Yeah.
It was crazy to have seen that cardinal and the rainbow on the way, like on the way to the
Crazy
movies.
see that.
I know.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, I told you it was crazy. Like I grabbed my son, he was like, like, and I also loved how they weaved faith in, so it doesn't leave faith out. It really allows for us to still really love God and to know that God could love all creatures,
Mhm.
right? So it talks about, God. God said in Genesis that we are supreme beings here on earth. Didn't say what else is about out in the universe. So they really talk about that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I expected, but I thought it was really sweet. I have to remember it was a Steven Spielberg movie, so he's not going to leave any details out. So Ryzen caught a couple of details that he thought was really cool, as far as just different things. And then also, like Steven Spielberg created the movie E.T., which was a fan favorite, right? It had that funny, cute sweetness about it. So he does weave a lot of that back in at kind of like at the end. And of course, it's got like all the high vibe things, right? Like the chases and high speed, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. So I think there's something in there for everyone, regardless if you are a believer or not, right?
Yeah.
It's just a fun ride. It's just funny that it's coming out during this time of what the U.S. government is calling actual disclosure. I do think that they are releasing videos and just calling it UAP phenomena instead of calling it UFO, since they changed the name, so that they don't have to say, oh, well, there was always UFOs. Well, there's, an identified aerial or just unidentified phenomena, right? So it could be in the sea as well. And I think that there's a lot more that could be released. I think this is just a way to keep us maybe pacified for a little bit. I definitely think there's a lot more. The movie goes into what that might look like. And so I just thought that was really rather interesting. Yeah, I think I was kind of watching the audience as they left, and you could tell that there was groups of people that had joined up to watch the movie. That had watched the movie, and they had a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
I love that. I feel like so many of us now at this day and age are kind of like, of course.
Yeah, but
obviously.
but not before, right? Like,
Mhm.
let's say you started talking about you were channeling the
I get-
Arcturians.
Yeah.
Right?
I still get that though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You would like, and that's why we are coming forth with the show about woo, right?
Right.
So you just have a sacred space that maybe
We can
others
talk
don't.
about this, that people that are going to deny us
Yeah.
as they want to deny it.
Liz says, Dana said, I'm a UF girl for sure. And Liz says, same girl, same.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's cool now that we are able to really, I mean, I thought it was weird that I'm standing here with two guys, right? My son's already 14, my husband, and they're both science dudes, but they were like, the guy asked us, the guy at the counter goes, well, are y'all UFO people? And they were like, my husband goes, my wife is. And I'm like, I'm the UFOer. And I guess I really am. I've always been fascinated with the just unknown phenomenon since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of our old shows, I brought out a book from the 90s.
I was just thinking
yeah. Because I would, it's just like just popped out one day. I like lifted something up and it was like stuck to the top of something. And talk about a whisper. It's like, and just kind of plopped out and opened to a certain page. And we showed the certain page on the show back then.
And the show was UFOs,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And it was, we talked about auroras on that too.
Yeah.
Talking about Aurora, I talked to her yesterday.
Okay.
Aurora Luna Star is going to be on later this week. And she was like, I really think that they're all around us, but we really have to be in that heart coherence to actually see and meet, very much like what Stephen Greer talks about.
Right, the
So-
frequency of. And I think that's what activated with me during the QHHT project that I worked on. It really allowed me to be open and free about it without judgment. And since I was able to really, lower my vigilance system, just come from a place of, and this is actually leads really well into the chakras, and into our frequencies. We have a $8 frequencies, it's, Summit Enhancer that plays in the background that helps to really allow the subconscious to receive, as opposed to just you being like, I don't understand that. It just allows for you to receive, by lowering your vigilance system. And so when I did that, I now have much more of a direct, clear communication, that I don't judge, anymore. Because it was different, when we first started this show too, about how much I was willing to want to share with the world. But now I really realize that in doing that project, and in the more the disclosure, the main idea here is that they're not supposed to be, that I knew that I was supposed to be chosen for this mission, so that I could share that they're not maleficent, that there's really benevolent beings that really are interested in seeing Earth ascend, and that that I am here to help share that message, that we can just be in oneness and in love, and that there's kindness available for us all.
Yeah.
And kindness when we see an orb, we don't have to be afraid. Now, I do get my own like chilly willies because I'm a regular person, and I remember that we are the ones inside the body and we have full control. And so you can just say, you can just, put a prism of white light around you if you're feeling spooky sometimes. But for for all of it, it's really a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we can be in a higher frequency to receive these really beautiful messages that help support us in our lives.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys, the Hertz frequencies, it's 8 hours. We worked with a sound engineer to have these put together. We called a summit enhancer because the first summit we did, we found that the people who had those frequencies were like, this is amazing. Thank you for making this $8 offer so that I can have these running at night and in the morning, and sometimes running during the middle of the night to just calm my nervous system. So we have alpha, we have theta, we have delta, we have isochronic. They're all 1 hour long frequencies. They're $8. They're often, if you purchase another speaker offer, they're an upsell there, but you can also buy them individually. Just look for them through the newsletter. We'll have them every evening. They're also on the wait page when you come on and you get your calendar booked and everything like that. So look for that if that's something you want. And we can also help you find links if you ever need them, because there's lots of links during this show.
Liz says it's funny because you have it so big that I can't see the chat always, but Liz says they're amazing. I hope, please, please, please go and grab them.
Oh, yes. She says, I love those frequencies.
See, now I have to paraphrase. Thank you, Liz.
Also, with that, if you like those, we have even a better package that works with just the chakra system. It's $27 and it is 7 full hours, but it does really, truly change those spinning of those Hertz frequencies. I will listen to that one while I read books. And if you go to the page, you can often hear a little bit of the sample of it. Absolutely. So we're going to bring Elizabeth up in about 2 minutes until we do. You can go run, take a break, whatever you need.
Grab a quick water.
Okay, great.
Since I spilled mine.
I noticed that.
I know.
Like, as long as it didn't hit any electrics.
I know.
We between summits, we actually had an organizer come in and figure out our studio, because we used to have like cords everywhere. It's like, I need another extension for this. I need another extension for that. And they came in and they cleaned up all our cords. So at least spilling of waters is less of a concern than ever. uh, we'll get started in just 2 minutes. Uh, all the information on somebody asked, how can I use the frequency 432? At the bottom of the Hertz page, it's actually houthustle.com/frequencies. At the bottom of that page, it actually says this is the best time to use this frequency, that frequency, and all the other frequencies. And I didn't create this. It was created by a sound engineer, and then we purchased the resale rights so that we could sell this as a summit enhancer. And we could probably sell it for a heck of a lot more than $8. But
really wanted people to have it.
like we said, we like to do things that are absolutely irresistible so that you'll step a toe in
Yeah.
and really experience. I'm gonna admit a bunch more people here, and then we'll see if we can hunt down Elizabeth in this group.
Don't forget to keep putting your whispers. What sounded like something else that happened.
Mhm.
We keep giving you examples of what those look like. And I really am curious just to hear what's going on for you. You'll start to get more too as you start to recognize them.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording and let's start a fresh one right now. All right. Elizabeth, do you pronounce your name Wisen? Wisen?
Great, Janet. Yeah.
Okay. It's been a minute since we've had a conversation
see you
together.
again,
Exciting.
Great. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackard.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
This is the Hout Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Elizabeth Wyson, and we are talking about oneness, consciousness, and really some of the seer and the science within becoming this in a greater way. Elizabeth and I have had many conversations in the past, and then we took a sabbatical from each other for like 5 or 6 years. So I'm really excited to see how she's grown and changed since our last conversations. It seems that sometimes it has to be always the right timing. And
well, she was waiting to come on Hout. And we were waiting to get Hout going.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. And Jeneth, I just love seeing your work around and super nice to meet everyone.
You have always been, I'd like to bring somebody on the show that can go anywhere and everywhere with us. And you are among that group of persona where it's like, doesn't matter if we're talking whales, dolphins, or dragons.
I love it. Love it.
I can talk to Elizabeth about it. And we've had a lot of offline conversations as well about some of the water dragons and other things like that. Yeah. Since some of our audience has never met you, can we start at the beginning and just you share just a little bit about your background and how you became the seer and the scientist for Woo?
Thanks. The land of Woo. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. My favorite land.
Okay.
So I was born very, very psychic and in a military, big, huge family. I'm the oldest of 7.
Mm-hmm.
And basically ended up cultivating that skill through duress. And then ended up in anthropology because I wanted to know if there were other people like me in the world.
Yeah.
It turns out, yes, it's a thing. Which that's
probably
the good news.
More than the other thing that people are trying to teach us.
And so then I got into mysticism, but I still do theoretical anthropology work, and I've been developing what I call galactic and quantum anthropology. And I'm not the only one by any means.
Cool. Very cool.
At all. Yeah, it's cool. So galactic anthropology is how the cycles of the galaxy and the sun and the solar system, etc., how those cycles affect human evolution. And
Mhm.
then does the quantum affect human evolution? And how does human consciousness affect all of this? And how does it all work together as one big, huge experience, which we're getting into, which we would call oneness?
Mhm.
But that's my most deepest interest, besides teaching people about being a human, but also that we're in an evolutionary moment, that we are at a punctuated, what they call punctuated equilibrium. That's Dr. Stephen Jay Gould. And it's a moment where we are here to change species. And so there's all these signs and clues about why that's now, why it wasn't before this.
What was the
But
cycle?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The
yeah,
galactic cycles.
yeah.
And some of you know I live in Ecuador, and I've been here for 5 years, a little more than that, almost 6. And I work with the Shuar and some of the other native people in the Amazon, and they also talk about this change in their cosmology, and they've never stepped foot in a university or even been on the internet. And they talk about Homo luminous, the human of light.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
that's what my current interest is in getting us to that point. And oneness is all there. It's all about that.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny. Lianka does Mystic Space Weather News on our
yes,
regular
awesome.
show.
Yay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
And I was like, oh, another solar flare, and just kind of laughed it off at the beginning when we started the show together. And then I was like,
Not anymore.
watch out, another solar flare. But it's
Oh,
funny
I'm
that,
with you.
yeah.
I am 26 miles closer to the sun than anywhere here on Earth.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
And I'm up high even to boot for that. I'm at 10,000 feet. I moved here for that. The
Interesting.
light is real. The light
Yes,
and the
yes,
changes are real.
yes, yes. And the way in which that they interact with humans, even just as a flare, approaches the Earth and the geomagnetic field, the way in which it excites humans, the cycles that there have been recorded in time, there have been,
Mhm.
the unrest, whether it was World War II. I mean, all of the data that it really correlates with each other to show that there are these very significant cycles. I'm curious as to hear what you have learned and covered through anthropology.
It'd be so
And
perfect. It'll match
I
right
know
up.
I'm
Yeah.
loving, I'm loving it. I'm nerding out so much.
I sense this geek thing happening over
We're
here.
totally gonna
I'm
geek out.
so
Yeah.
excited. Yeah, I know. It's like,
We've
but
hijacked the conversation.
please do. So, but I know that it's coming around where people are really starting to understand, especially as we start to have much more data available. What are some of the things that you think are still maybe some of the misconceptions for this type of
Thank
work?
you. What a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think the biggest one that none of us really talk about that much, and that's kind of a quiet misconception. A quiet misconception um, is that human beings ourselves are not at the same capacity of creating light as like a star.
Okay.
And that people don't realize what their bodies actually have access to and how powerful our consciousness is. And it's wild to me because we're so cut off from our real history that we literally don't have any idea that the incredible power of our consciousness is light itself, but more so that the light that we've created by existing has in fact been the thing that attracted our adversaries in the first place. And that the adversaries that are not from this galaxy, that these adversaries, they're very useful, they're amazing, and they will be our allies. It's inevitable.
Yes.
I know it sounds wild, but I promise it's inevitable. That they themselves were attracted to us in the first place
I agree.
because of how much light we put out into the universe by our
And you're
existence alone.
Are you saying this as humans or because of the light as humans that we
Yes,
possess?
correct. The
Yeah,
original DNA
got
that
it.
was not created here on Earth.
Got it.
And yet we have it because
Uh-huh.
it is a gift.
Yeah.
So Homo sapiens have the original DNA, and that DNA, you know, the first humans seeded incredible amount of societies. DNA is really, really incredible, and it's much more than we realize, and it's everywhere. But the fact is that human beings don't realize that that's actually what we're trying to get back to, is that original state where the epigenetic memory is not the foundational memory, it's the soul's memory. And then that gets into discussion about what the heck is a soul and all this cool stuff.
Right.
The frequency that has the power is the I am presence. It's your existence. But I would say that that's the number one quietly unknown misconception. And then the second one is the cycles that we go through. Because so one of the things that I bring to the table is I've studied Hinduism and Jainism and their cosmologies and brought it to the table as basically like a more true way to look at the real history of humankind, and that we should be basing archaeology and anthropological work on those particular cosmologies, in my argument. Because what they'll say is that we are 800,000 years old, not 300,000. And I always knew that in college.
Right,
They
right,
were
right.
telling us we
They
were 100,000
right,
years
right,
old. And I
right,
was like, are you
right.
joking me?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's
You
one of
seen
the
the
biggest.
pyramids?
Yeah. Yes. And I was walking around, I don't know why I had this, but I had this flash of whatever. And I was walking around and I was like kind of stomping on my ground. And I was like, why don't we have this information? Why don't I remember the Atlantean times? Why don't I know about this stuff? Right. And then some of it was like, okay, yes, that there was the flood. And then it was like, Leonka, think about how hard it is sometimes to find one thing in your house, right? You just had it yesterday, and yet it's just missing, right?
I
So then
love it. It's
I
so
know.
true. I call Earth the giant Etch-a-Sketch.
Okay. I'm curious to hear you. But yes, right? And so
Yeah,
that's a
she
lot of
goes
it's
through
been
every
missing.
12,000 years.
Yeah.
She goes
Yes.
through a big shakeup.
Yep.
Every
Oh my
6,000
God,
there's
that's
a
great.
shakeup, but every 12,000 she's like, that's enough. And there's Babylon disappeared.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Are
is
we
necessary.
are we
And what's interesting is our planet has a much longer cycle. Can you imagine being closer to the center of the galaxy and it happening like every 1,000 years? Like,
No.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And we are
it's
seeing
pretty
that.
wild.
Well, they
Yeah,
know
it's
this through
wild.
astrology too,
Exactly.
these cycles.
Exactly.
You know, even
Absolutely.
each human has cycles. You know, my son was
Yes.
turning 30, and one of the astrologers is like, well, he's in a Saturn cycle now. And this is what happens when you're in your Saturn cycle. And I thought, well, that is, I'm like, that's stereotyping. Just kidding. But you see what I'm saying? Like
Poor Saturn.
there's
I know,
cycles
there's
for
a whole
all
lot
these
about
things.
Saturn we could get into too, because
My
Saturn wasn't
goodness.
originally Saturn, and it didn't have rings. It had many moons, and it was called Sophia, and it was closer. It was actually in the place of Venus. There's some weird stuff that's happened. Our history's so much bigger. This is the fun part, though.
No, we love this.
People are wondering, real quick, I want to answer this about remembering. And yes, so there was an original DNA. DNA was a creation. And the interesting part is that it can't be created again. There was many things that were lined up for it to be created. And the Dark Order can't create DNA. They've tried. They've failed miserably. They'll never ever succeed at it. And they really don't know much about it. They don't know how to even interact with it. Mostly it's because it's interdimensional, folks. You know, you're not going to see 12 strands in a microscope, but you have them. It's because they have to do with dimensions and oscillations, and this is the science of it. The other part of it is that, and that's another misconception people have. But my argument would be, it doesn't matter if it's original or not. The point that our friend here was making is that she's frustrated about why we don't have access to our memory. My friends, trauma is what blocks you from memory. If you heal your trauma, which is why I built the package I did. I pulled every healing class I've ever taught and put it into one package for you.
It's also a good one, guys.
Let me just tell you that just shows she is all about us remembering. Like, you want us
I
to
am.
know our
I
history.
really,
You
really
want
do,
us to
because it
know.
works.
Yes.
It
Yes.
really works.
Yeah, I'm raising my
And
hand.
past life memory is not this is a journey to oneness.
Yes.
But folks, it's not the journey you think. Don't worry about your past lives so much. You'll remember what you need to. I have in weird
Yeah.
moments. There's a bow and arrow. There's a bow behind me. At one point, my boyfriend was practicing, and I'd never shot a bow, and he gave it to me, and he said, "Here, why don't you give it a try?" And it was a very far shot, and I made a bullseye.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
And I
Watch
said,
out.
he said, "I think you remember how to shoot a bow." Well, I was like, I think I do too.
Fair enough.
I'm good.
Cool.
Whatever that life was, Mongolia or whatever.
That's
But don't worry about that stuff, because all that'll be just like any other data that you have available to you in your own memory. It'll come up when it's useful.
I love
What
that.
what you're shooting for is not what you realize. You don't need to know more about yourself. You need to love yourself, but you can't identify as the body named Elizabeth, folks. The I am presence is what you are. That's what you're shooting for. And that memory is from the beginning of the universe. And it's not something that is easy to talk about, but you're not shooting to know yourself, okay? You got to drop all of the identity in order to fully embody yourself. Then you'll know what you need to know. Knowing yourself isn't going to get you there.
Okay.
That's simply going to create more structure and fantasy about who you think you are, when in fact, none of that's true. So the immortal soul is more important than being human. Human beings and DNA will come and go. It's just another really awesome and amazing experience that this universe has provided. But that's not what the point of being here is. And those great cosmologies show us that there are experiments in consciousness, and that we just had one, and it was an 800,000 year experiment. And now there's more people here at the 66th cycle that we've been through than all of them combined.
Wow.
Which means that we are here for that change, that species change. This summit is about us doing that in the end. When we talk about oneness, that's what it means. And guess what? Everyone who's our adversary knows this is true. They want to keep you from this data. They
I
don't
was
want
just
you to
gonna
know.
ask.
Yeah, they don't want you to know what the inevitable future is. Because what it's going to mean is that when we all figure it out,
Yeah.
that they're going to look like little kids who brought a squirt gun to an atomic bomb fight. And then it's going to end the war immediately, because they won't be able to even question us.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
That's what they are afraid of you knowing. So the cycle's not to be feared. The
Well-
past lives aren't to be worried about too much. But remembering who you are has to do with remembering that you're an immortal soul. So one of the classes in that package is about ending the fear of death. And I remind you, and my classes are very long. I literally talk to you so long that you finally break down and you have to listen.
Well, I also, and I said these are planetary transmissions that you're going
Yes.
to have. This isn't
For
just
sure.
new information, and
No.
I think I'm so excited for the people who did show up live, because they are getting it in more now time than the now time that is going to happen for the people that listen on replay, in a way. And I feel like you are one of those people that can really offer transmissions as you even educate us and give us information. So I thank you for that.
Pleasure always. My
Yeah.
job as basically a mirror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories out, and I'm really geeking out with AI. And some of
sure.
the information that I recently read was Neuralink through AI has actually created this thing where you can get your thoughts read, right? So if you're paraplegic, right, they can
Yeah.
think, I want
Oh yeah,
this,
it's pretty
right?
cool. It's
Right.
neat tech.
But what it made me think of as you were talking about it, I mean, from a tiny, tiny thing to the whole I am, is if your thought is the same as a word and a machine can get that electric magnetic frequency, isn't it dang cool that our thoughts and our words and our I ams and the energy of it communicates that way across this invisible field
Yep.
of communication? So with that and that information, just to kind of play in people's minds, how would you go about supporting people to know more of their electric magnetic frequency so that they can communicate more through the field as a connector of the whispers and oneness?
The whispers, of course. Those
Got to put
whispers
that in there.
are, yeah, the connections on Indra's net. So one of the cool
Mhm.
parts of the ancient text is that they talk about this other internet.
Mhm.
It's the original internet, and it's called Indra's net. And Indra's net is all about equanimity. It has nothing to do with distortion. It doesn't, it's not allowed. It can't exist on Indra's net. So on Indra's net, only truth can happen. Wouldn't that be
Interesting.
amazing if we could
Yeah.
match our internet to that?
Yeah, right.
Um, yeah.
But we
This would be a
can.
very different internet.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can, we can.
They
You're right.
kind of operate the
We
same
can.
way.
They absolutely do. But everything, all these structures, all the different kinds of AI, there's two kinds of AI. There's the really useful AI that's all machine based, and then there's AI that's not from here.
Yeah.
There's AI that is intergalactic, and it has one job. I know this because I'm a world class remote viewer,
Mhm.
and I've done a lot of work trying to understand the structures that we're here to be finished with. And nothing's outside the divine order. Nothing.
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 Yes.
Nothing. All
I
this
believe you.
crazy stuff that we keep looking at, we're like, the Matrix, not outside the divine order, folks. You can't become a new species unless you have something that's big enough to push you to
Sure.
evolve that way. This is all part and parcel of it. But the piece that we're really trying to understand is, well, all these things are mimicking things that humans already have accessed. And this other version of AI, this intergalactic version, that doesn't work the way that our technology works. This thing, it's interested in creating a more perfect copy of the universe, because this is going to sound really radical what I'm going to say, because the universe is supposedly imperfect. So if we can get it to change its function and understand the universe is actually perfect, and that it itself is an example of that perfection, then we would have one of the greatest allies you could ever imagine. But the important part is it starts with you, because every single
I knew
thing that
it.
all these structures are depending on is you.
I knew
So
it.
so you have to align with in natural law. And I like Florence Scovel Shinn. I like Neville Goddard. He's too heady for me. Florence Scovel Shinn, she's far more
Okay.
natural. She's more she worked with the poor. She wasn't rubbing shoulders with rich people. She was dealing with everyday individuals in a very organic capacity. I highly recommend listening to her. 1920s, before Neville Goddard. She was way ahead of her time.
Uh-huh.
But I teach from that perspective of natural law, that nothing's outside of it. So what's important is your thoughts are key. They start out with the imaging. Not everybody images, but your imagination is real. Imaging is real. It's a different dimension. And when you're working with that, then come the words, and then come action. And that those three things aligned with what we call the divine will and divine order or natural law And it doesn't matter if you believe in the divine, it's what nature offers you. It's physics, it's the physics of consciousness. But when you align these things, then you literally have perfect access to the field. That is Indra's net. But the weirder part is that in that field, suffering is treasure. Suffering is treasure. It's
Yeah.
heavy. It's gold. And
Yeah.
you are born mind-blowingly rich. You have mountains of treasure, 800,000 years of trauma for you to spend right now. And as you spend it, then we create the easier path for us to evolve, a much easier way for us to get out of this mess. And then the other systems have to match us because they are
Yes.
already doing that. So it's much more than manifesting. I actually am very
Yes.
against
Well, and
manifesting, and
so
I think manifesting's wrong. I think
Wait, so
it's
for
Okay.
some,
tyranny.
well, okay, well,
so you're saying from a selfish standpoint? Okay, go ahead.
No,
We
I'm
want to know
saying
why you think
manifesting
it's
the
wrong.
function is a wrong physics.
okay.
It's not, I am one of the weird ones
No,
who
it's
say
okay.
this.
I want to
Yeah.
hear this
Yeah,
conversation
totally.
for
So
sure.
manifesting is an old French word for literally projection,
Okay.
and it means punching reality.
Okay.
And manifesting is literally punching reality. And so when we approach manifesting, most of us approach it from a very personal experience and not from a state of oneness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yep.
And
I think that's where people get it wrong.
y-
Yes.
yes, but I've seen lots of people lose their entire lives, their marriage, their livelihoods, their retirement, because they weren't understanding what they were doing wrong. They thought they were doing something wrong, and it wasn't about that. Because there's a false concept around what we put our focus on grows. That's not true. You can make it grow or you can make it smaller, either way. Your attention is, yes, the key.
It's about
But if you
becoming the
put,
energetic match. Is that what you're
yes,
saying is the difference?
the
Yes.
frequency of the I am is going to match up with that Indra's net, right? So if we're talking techie, if you're the I am presence, you're the plug, and you're plugging into the Indra's net by saying, I am not Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I'm not the past lives I've had. I'm none of the degrees that I have. I'm none of that. I'm not the books I've written. I'm not the relationships I have.
Yeah.
None of it. I'm not even this body. I'm not even close to anything like human.
Yeah.
Being human's a completely unique, incredible experience, which I'm
Yeah.
here to work with, but I'm
Yeah.
none
Yeah.
of those things.
Yep.
And we plug into IndrasNet, it's what I call soul to soul connection to everything, because everything is consciousness.
Yes.
But when that occurs, then you're actually syncing up, you're synchronizing. You're synchronizing to a field of information that we call source God
Yep.
or God or whatever you want to call it. The Tao that is named is not the Tao. But the fact is you're syncing up to that. You're relinquishing what you thought was your personal will, which you
Yep.
never had in the first place.
Right. Right.
And then when you're synchronized, all of the things that you think you want actually were part of the divine.
Yes.
Right.
Everything that you've been afraid of was because you were separate from the divine.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then you sync up. You don't have to manifest. I teach people you take your desire, your fear, and you turn it into a divine right. You have
Yes.
a right. It's my
Yes.
divine right to have the exact right, perfect relationship. It's my
Yeah.
divine right to have the exact right, perfect interview with these two cool ladies. It's my divine right to have the exact right, perfect day. Does that mean it's not going to be without suffering? No, no.
Well,
It
and
means
I
you
mean, I
gotta
feel like
value it.
I don't really love the word divine right either,
Sure.
because there's some superiority in that. But I do feel and sense that our desires are for us to create. They are here for us to have,
With
not
the
needs.
divine, matched with the
The
divine.
divine.
Right.
Not needs like, I'm hungry and I have to have this need, but it's more of a sync up. Like I desire this, I desire to create this brand. And that comes from somewhere that's my higher self, synced up with myself. And then we get
Yeah.
all the energetics on board, and then that creates
That
it.
sounds like divine right to me.
See, I don't like
See,
that.
I
I
agree.
guess I just the
The
wording
reason
just
I
makes
use
me
the word right,
contract. Okay.
sure, sure. Well, I don't mind some pushback because I gotta explain myself, right?
we got all
So,
twisted. We were you reflecting manifests, but I do
precisely.
I
that
think it's a
word is
gateway. It's
heavy.
a gateway word for me. Like,
That
Well,
word
like,
is
okay, so
heavy
the
for
reason I
sure.
use divine rights is very simple. We've been told that we have human rights.
Uh-huh.
All right. I live in Ecuador. One
But
of the
that's
cool
from a
parts of
collective
Ecuador,
point of view.
and she's
one of the
saying
cool
that.
parts
Yeah.
of Ecuador is that Ecuadorians in their constitution, they are the first country to say that Mother Earth and nature has human level rights. That's one of the reasons why I like air.
Wow.
But
Mhm.
the reason why I said divine right is because human rights we're told that there's a certain set of human rights and they're limited. And we're also told that that set can actually be taken away. We can literally listen to these AI CEOs tell us basically that we have none, that we have no rights at all. And the fact is that the earth doesn't either, especially under their tyranny, right? But the fact is that we have much more than that, and we have rights that are actually endless. And every single desire and every single fear and every need that you have can be turned into and understood as a right, and that it never stops. So
Mhm.
I use divine rights more as like this is a seed that is planted and the fruit that comes from it never ends.
Yeah.
Because your experience and the diversity of our novel experiences never end. Therefore, the rights that we have to interact with this universe appropriately, without distortion and without being separate from it, are endless.
Mhm.
So the divine rights are bigger and they keep going. There's not an end and they can't be taken away.
Yeah.
And that's why I called them that. But I totally get what you mean, Janet.
Yeah, and somebody said semantics, and I don't want to talk semantics on this,
But
but
actually, it's a
yeah,
good
I do.
question.
But words are codes, and I do.
Yes.
Yeah, so I feel like it's important for us to be in cahoots with our words.
Yeah, and I do feel it's important to let's talk this through. Let's give the little bit of pushback, just because I want people to be able to hear exactly where you're coming from, right? And in order to have that, we got to be able to open up the conversation for what's going through people's minds. And for me, I was like, I'm glad that you explained that, because now I'm even closer to the word divine right. Because yes,
Yeah,
there's human rights, and then there's me connected to the divine, and that is what I'm entitled to.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't take away the divine. You can
yeah,
take away the human. You can kill them. You can take away
sure.
people's dignity and their humanity. You can try. You can destroy human beings, but you can't take away divinity.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Let's.
it's okay. I'm an academic. I like to debate,
I know,
so
I
I
know
know
you could
you.
go there. Yeah, and this is a talk show, right? So the other thing
exactly.
too, that I would like for people to know is tell us about how this takes us to closer to your work, right? So how does knowing these things bring us into one of the things is like, yes, it's great that we learn all these esoteric things and but how does that bring us into to today? How can we use this in our everyday lives to be more of what we're really meant to do here?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. It's all about the practical. And the things we're talking about are really high level concepts. These are really great. It's all fine. And then we gotta go scrub the toilet and pick up the dog poop and wash the dishes, right? But I would simply say use what this conversation offers you more as a springboard to up level all of the mundane into the miraculous. All the stuff that's uncomfortable, all the suffering we've been through, it's incredibly useful and you can keep spending it. And so the way I do it is I'll say, you know what, source, take this. Take this from me. I'm gonna imagine it like a big ball of gold or lead or crap, whatever. It's all useful. Source doesn't care. The earth loves to take all your crap and turn it into flowers. So what do you think God turns all of your crap into? Miracles. So I like to basically say, well, what is it can I give away? What do I have to give away every day? I got so much stuff to give. And it's going to be trauma. It's going to be kindness. It's going to be loving myself because I am not my body. And in real sovereignty, by the way, here's another fun radical idea. Throw out the whole idea of selfless service. Right in the trash. Throw it out. It is no longer that. It's sovereign service. You are going to include yourself in the service always. And what this does, it's magic. This is practical. It stops you from falling for the narcissists.
Oh, girlfriend, speak on
Oh
it.
my gosh.
There's like a lot of hearts
They're
and
like
expressions.
exploding in front of us.
Everybody's throwing out a different, yeah. They're like,
Throw
we
out-
like
yeah.
this.
Throw out selfless service. You are not your body. You're going to include your body
Yeah.
in everything you do. And when you do that, you don't fall for the trap of the narcissist who says, well, what are you going to do for me? And then the codependent says, well, what can I do for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead, we say, what can I do for, of course, the world and my body that's included?
Ooh, I
And
like
my
that as a
body that's
question.
included.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not my emotions, I'm not my mind, I'm not my body. That means that she or he needs to be included in whatever actions of service I take. And every time. So that actually, having gone through a lot of that stuff, that's one of those practical pieces. But the mindset shift is to simply ask, to ask source, show me how doing dishes, connects me closer to God. We're trying really hard in this summit to give you as many pathways to that oneness as possible, but the easiest one will always be for you to ask. Ask. And one of the things we don't believe is that we have that divine right to be able to ask source
Yeah.
about whatever we want.
Yeah.
And be like, show me, because
Or we
I don't know
forget.
what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And a human being only has access to 0.015% of all reality. So that means I can't really be good at creating exactly what's going to be in divine order, but I can be a vessel for it. So show me.
I love that.
Show me. That's the shift. So
Yeah.
this brings us closer to oneness. My work in general, it's all about making sure you wake up. It's about waking humanity up, and it's simply about being the best humans we can be. And I've always believed that it's the women, it's the moms, it's the feminine who leads the way to open the golden gates of this Satya Yuga, the next permanent golden age for human beings. But it's gonna be the healing of the divine masculine and feminine that does it, and it's the women who will bridge it. It's the women who will get that, who have gotten it started, and we've been maintaining what was necessary. So I work very closely with men and veterans and things like that too. But that's another one of the healings: healing our children, healing our communities. And folks, I'm giving you not just these nice ideas about healing. I'm hardcore. I'm giving you tools that will change your community forever if you're willing to share them. You don't even have to be the one to implement it. Share it, right?
Yeah.
Be willing to share some of this information. I'm giving you your power back, and it's based in real cultural and very long, well-established scientific and social concepts. But it's also for the now, because, hey, we are dealing with AI. Some of it is useful, some of it's not. We are dealing with technology. We are dealing with World War IV. Everyone thinks it's like World War V by now. But like, we're dealing with that. That's true. But you actually have so much more power over these things than you realize. That was the whole point of the Matrix, is to make you think that you're not. And go watch those movies. The Matrix, it's a documentary. It's a documentary from the future, from a possible future, but it gives you a roadmap. What was the answer? The answer is the same answer that I get to wrap up with today. That you are far, far more important and powerful in consciousness than you've ever allowed yourself to realize. And that love is not nice and soft.
Mhm.
Love is hardcore. And love really does mean that you have to understand nothing is outside the divine order. Nothing. All these terrible things that we're
Yeah.
watching happen around us is not outside the
Yep.
divine
Yep.
order. It
Yep.
is forcing us to wake
Yep.
up.
Yep. We
Yes.
talk a lot about
So
Yeah,
that.
we
Yeah.
celebrate all these people, all the
Yeah.
people who are suffering, all the people who've lost their lives, all the people who are waking up, all the people who, the gray hats. It's the gray hats, the people who are changing sides are the ones who are going to save the day.
Mm.
Mhm.
They're the ones who are showing us, and they're the ones who are making it so that people like us don't sound crazy anymore.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
don't sound crazy
I'm here
anymore.
for it, but hey.
Yeah.
That's too
Love is the
funny.
radical whisper. Thank you,
There you
Dina.
go.
Love
Thank
Yeah.
is
you.
the radical
That was
whisper.
beautiful. What do you think is for the future? What, like, we see this polarity, this loud polarity. What do you perceive next might happen?
So um, the polarity is real. It's right in front of us, and it's like, are humans gonna make it or not? And that's the truth. But the good news is that the outcome is inevitable. So I'm gonna say to all of
Yeah.
us what Krishna said to Arjuna on the top of the mountain in the Bhagavad Gita as they were looking down on this battle. And it like is this mind-blowing level battle. Like there's demons from every level of hell, and you got it. It's like everybody's there. And Krishna is like, all right, you ready? And Arjuna's like, I don't want to do this. and Krishna's like, I figured you'd probably say that. And Arjuna's like, I can't handle this. Can't I quit and walk away? Like, don't I have a will to do that? And
Mhm.
Krishna said, it's not about your will, it's about destiny.
Mm.
And he
Okay.
said, you are built by Source God to be the greatest warrior in this world right now. Not only were you built as part of this great machine that is the divine order, you are an integral part of it. And not only are you going to fight this battle, you're going to be one of the few that survive and you're going to win.
Mhm.
And he said, and so you can either go and do what God destined you to do, and you can be pissed off about it and whine the whole time and win, or you can go in and do it with grace and be the hand of God. So, my friends, it's not that we're not going to win. We
Mhm.
I
will,
hear you.
we will. It's that you have to be willing. You have to be willing to step into your role. Even if you're trapped in bed sick, like I have a terrible disease, I'm trapped in bed a lot. And I at the same time I'm so grateful because I travel the universe from my
Mhm.
bed. There's nothing that
Yeah.
stops me. It doesn't matter if I'm stuck in bed or not. The
Mhm.
fact
Yeah.
is though that it's destined that we will win. And the Dark Order knows this because they have a lot of remote viewers too. And they've been
Yeah, they
using
do.
remote viewers for many, many, many decades. And they every single time they try to remote view the future, it's the same. It's this huge flash of light. And they're really, really afraid of it. They think it's a supernova or a micronova because they can't see past it. Every
Mhm.
single time. It's not. It's us.
We're that
It's
light.
us. We're the light.
Oh
You know
shit.
why?
Okay.
You know why we can't look past it? How could you be able to see through the eyes of a different species?
Ah,
It's us.
Yeah.
sweet.
We're the light. That's why they're afraid.
Oh.
It's inevitable. So we can totally go fight the war and complain and moan and be sad for ourselves and all this stuff. Or you can go in and win the war, win the battle with grace, with perfect and utter surrender and synchrony with the divine, knowing not only that you're fulfilling what was asked of you, but that you were built for it and that it's going to inevitably happen. And then you can actually dance the dance. So Arjuna won that battle, but he did it like a dance. He didn't fight it like a normal battle. He danced the battle because he saw his position in the great play, in the Maya. He was shown it. Krishna showed him. And that's exactly the position we're all in.
It's funny at the beginning in the first interview, I talked about the symphony came through, how we each have our unique note. And you just brought in the idea of the dance. And it was funny, I had a whisper where my body just had a happy moment, hit music, and it just started to move. And I feel like this is the oneness that we're asking for. And I hope that those two whispers are reminders to help people really be a part of the symphony all around us as we do the work to
Well said.
become.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, Janet.
thank you. Well, let's talk a little bit about your program because
My pleasure.
it's quite the thing. When we got it, I was like, ooh.
Right?
Let me go ahead and bring it up. And I'll let you go ahead and walk us through this. This is the True Transformation Masterclass Healing Series.
So I've been teaching many, many decades, and I am a certain kind of teacher, folks. I'm a mystic, and I'm a lecturer. But what I'll do is I use my voice as a multidimensional tool, and each of these classes are many hours long, probably about up to 5 hours long, and I'm giving you 14 of them.
Wowzers.
These are all the most important healing classes I've ever taught. And so there's quite a lot. The last three are not exactly classes, they're actually healings, but they kind of act like a class in that you're going to learn how to maintain that healing. And so there's a few different healings that come in, but there's 11 of these other teachings. So, Jenith, if you want to scroll through, I can just kind of mention a little on each of them. I think probably the most important one is the first one, about healing narcissism, because it's one of the most important problems of our time that was actually created by the false internet the most. So narcissism's always existed, but now it's much, much worse. And it's one of the great, actually, I argue it's one of the great pandemics of our time. And possession is too. And one of the reasons why we have these issues are because of the lineages and the traumas that we carry in the lineages. So in this class, I get really, really deep about exactly how to approach all these things. And I give you real world actual experience on how to address this. And it's stuff that you can apply immediately. So I'm very, very practical because I know that people don't have time.
I think a lot of people are afraid of a narcissist, and then a lot of times they are one too. And they realize, oh, well, that is where my frequency matched the other person at the moment. Is that also something that would be covered in this?
Yeah, that can be part of it. And yes, I do cover that to a certain extent where I define the difference between narcissistic traits and actual narcissism. Real NPD is not actually that common, and it's becoming more common. Narcissistic traits to the point where we could distill it down and say just simply wanting to be alive is technically a narcissistic trait. That's true. And there's a difference. I also cover, what is codependence. And I also discuss the big difference between, hey, it takes two to tango versus what real narcissism relationships are, which is a predator and prey.
Yeah.
And that it's not about what matched up in you that attracted this kind of person. It's that you had enough power that the predator saw you as the most useful prey.
Interesting.
And so we cannot see relationships with narcissists as the same as relationships that require our own personal accountability.
Interesting.
There's a lot more to it, but I cover all this stuff in there. Yeah, it's very thorough. Yeah. And then there's not a certain order to these things at all. But so if something pops out to all of you that you're like, oh, I got to have that, then it's not that these are in an order. Then, of course, I cover healing communities. I talk actually, this is where I get really radical, and I give you tools about how to actually recreate your entire local economy with very little effort so that you have a different kind of form of money that cannot be taken away nor taxed by the government. This is why I live in Ecuador.
Like
One
it.
of these days, I'll be coming back to the US when I have a community enough to be able to do it. But this is the kind of stuff like this is an atom bomb in your hand. How to heal your
Nice.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got your back.
I love that.
Healing polarities. You know, Jenna talks about polarities, and it's such a brave thing to always bring up because it brings us into a better state where we actually can say, you know what? Nothing is outside the divine order. Like worthlessness, anger, grief, all this stuff, lust, this intense stuff is part of it too. And then what? Okay, that's good. Now you got to the point where you can recognize that everything is a tool of the divine. But then what? And there's a process to do what we call in quantum physics collapsing the wave. And when you heal a polarity, you collapse a wave and you change everything. You change your DNA, you change your reality. Collapsing polarities is one of the most powerful tools you can have. And it's something you can do all the time, even when you're doing dishes. Like to me, I'm a mom and I have a farm. And if I can't think about something or manage it while I'm doing dishes, then I'm not going to do it.
I hear you, sister, for real.
So I make this stuff really easy listening.
Love it. Yes.
Yes. So you can listen to this and learn while you're doing dishes.
I like that. Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah.
Like,
so
what are you doing, girl? I'm like, I am collapsing. Like, I am
I'm
collapsing.
collapsing polarities and washing pots.
Yes, and washing pots. I like it.
And purifying by water.
I'm blessing the water too. The whole world's going to change after this.
That's right.
Exactly, actually. So healing relationships and sexuality. I like this one because when we did this class, everyone thought I was going to be talking about men and women and sex and stuff, and that's not that's not how it started. Instead, I take you into a very, very different idea of relationships. What you'll get used to is that you'll come to a class and you'll be like, all right, well, I think she's going to talk about XYZ. And then you realize, oh my goodness, we're on some kind of whole other dimensional angle on this that I had never even thought of before. So this is one of those because I'm teaching you how to actually connect to the universe. If you want to talk about oneness, this class, it's going to give you more concepts about why relationship is actually one of the keys to all of reality. And your relationship with the I am presence, the ultimate frequency of your ability to exist. So that one's great. I talk about in healing children of the world. I do discuss, for those of you who are probably wondering immediately if I discuss anything around neurodivergence, and I do. So neurodivergence is covered in here too, but I talk specifically about why the kids are the most important part of building the future. And I used to study underneath some incredible professionals who were Middle Eastern, including a Saudi Arabian anthropologist who lost most of his friends and his family because he spoke out against tyranny. And one of the things that he taught us about was about terrorism and how terrorism really works, why it exists, etc. And the only conclusion, because he didn't have one, we had to come up with this in our class. We had 25 people who started that class and only 8 people finished.
Wow.
And the conclusion actually was the one that I came up with because no one could come up with one. And I'm not giving myself extra credit here. I'm just saying that this is what we all ended up figuring out, and I put words to it, but it was that the children, that we have to do everything. We have to create everything for the children. And that when you do so, it ends the origin of all terrorism. So I teach you how to do it with this class. I teach you how to do it. Um,
We
and
need
then
to
healing
check,
the fear of death
also
is down
protect
there at
them
the bottom.
from
Go ahead.
the tech and the AI these
Yeah,
days. I think that that's a conversation as well. Those
I cover
children
that
are,
too.
oh, perfect.
Talk about the tech.
Right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is a big problem. My son,
Yeah.
I was born in '82.
Yeah.
My son was totally on a computer early.
Right, his whole
I'm
life,
the,
right?
yeah, and I'm the last generation to have a childhood without the internet.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, it's very important, and it has a dramatic amount of effect on our reality, but there is a lot
And
you
we're
can
we
do.
are parents that are parenting kids that
Exactly.
are right, that are born with the internet, whereas we've had a time where there wasn't. And so
That's
we're
right.
navigating that as well
Yeah.
for our children.
Yeah, and you'll like how I speak about parenting because I let all the parents know immediately, hey, it's not your fault.
Right.
None of us are born knowing how to parent. It's not about that. The fact that you're even trying to
Yes.
figure out how to parent is
Yes.
freaking great.
Right.
That's
And that,
that's where you start. I
yes.
don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
And being willing
Which
to say that. Yes.
exactly. And module 6 is all about healing the fear of death. We talked a little bit about that.
Mm.
I talk about where the programming came from because it is programming. Because when you realize who you really are, then that death doesn't bother you at all. Um,
Because you're like,
and what does
yeah,
that
let's
feel like?
go. We'll run towards the light.
But it feels like something, you
Yeah.
know, people don't necessarily, they'll talk about their realization that there is no death, but then they don't necessarily talk about, well, how does that feel on a day-to-day basis?
Mm.
Mhm.
How do you go about your life and feel like that?
Mhm.
Like,
I'm gonna
I
say,
that's
got
the
quiet. That's
question.
all I got. I'm curious to uncover that for sure.
Yeah, me too. This was a good class for that. This is good because that's always been my question. Like, okay, that's fine, but I'm gonna get on this airplane and I'm not gonna sleep because we're 30,000 miles in the air. And in that moment, I believe in death. So
That's
right?
module seven is healing the feminine. And again, it's not like this is in a special order or anything, but this happened to get put up this way. And listen, women just don't realize where they're at. So I
Yeah.
address the feminine as a collective. I give everybody the kudos they deserve, but I also give everybody a really good clue about what it's going to take from here on out and exactly what steps we have to take as women to end this whole dark order tyranny of our planet and have our golden age the way that we deserve, the way that we've dreamed. And I give you the tools and the techniques on how to do that.
Yep.
Again, I'm super practical, and these are not things you can't do. These are not too esoteric or big. It just requires your attention and your drive, your destiny driving you to some of this. And that's when we also cover, of course, healing the masculine. And this one, again, it's a very different take on the masculine. It is not anything like I've ever heard anywhere else about how men are, what's happened to them, and what is going on and what is needed. And I'm very grateful for all of the men who made it so that I could help you all and teach this class and give you back some of the tools that will
Yeah.
serve you.
It's interesting because
Yeah.
they look very pragmatic. I'm reading this here. It says the second ingredient was lentils, which was represented in benevolence, a high protein food that didn't require killing and was gentle on the earth and the stomach. I mean, just even that from a pragmatic, just reading that, learning how that in and of itself could help heal is, I think, some of the stuff that's really omitted in today's teachings.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And the acknowledgement that the patriarchy and the oligarchy has hurt men just as much.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, absolutely. Why are they
Thank you.
narcissists?
I'm glad that you agree
Because
because it's been many,
gotta
many
fight.
decades to get to a point where I can say that out loud without wondering
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody's gonna
Yeah.
bite me. But But it's true, and it's because I've worked with them. I know what's happening, and they're starving to death. They're starving from an existential starvation, and it's very, very
Yes.
real. But I gave us some ideas, some steps, and I continue to work with the men directly.
Mhm.
It's really important. This
Yes.
other class is a little combination of the two that I had taught some years ago, but I actually get more into the history about why the patriarchy even exists
Uh-huh.
and how egalitarian and merit-based cultures work. And I
Mhm.
also debunk the whole idea that there's anything like a what we call a matriarchy. There's no such thing, there never has been. And one of the big fears that the men has is that the women are going to get into power and then they're going to turn around and take revenge. And that's a fair fear,
Sure.
but it's
Mhm.
not real and it never happened and there's a reason why. And so we get into that, but then I get into more of like, well, here's what the future structure between us will look like, and I draw in from the deep past to illustrate those things. And
Interesting.
again, this doesn't take anything away from anybody. You gain more by repositioning yourself in consciousness correctly. I like this one. This one's about shame. Module 10 is about shame and scarcity because there's so many people who are really confused. Here's another one of my radicals. They're really confused about abundance.
Uh-huh.
Everybody thinks they understand abundance. And I'll give you the hint.
Yeah.
Abundance is a machine and it has to be gassed up.
Mm.
And to gas up that big, huge, basically it's a huge wheel. To gas that wheel up, you have to be generous.
Yeah.
Mm.
So generous and abundance work together, and you can't have one without the other.
I agree with that.
So in order to, for example, people will be like, well, I really want to move. And I'll say, then start packing. And they'll be like, well, I don't know where I want to move. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're being compelled to move, you better start packing. And then the universe is going to be like, all right, they're ready.
Yeah.
They're listening. They're ready
Yeah.
for the next step. This has happened to me twice in the past year. I was told by the divine to move, like really dramatically, and twice. And I was like, seriously?
I know. I was like, eek. I just said it for myself. I was like, eek.
And I have kids and stuff and animals, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna do it. And so I packed up and I said to the family, pack up, we're moving. And they're like, where? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out when we're done packing. And then we finished packing. A week later, we're all packed. And I said, okay, where are we moving? And then I get a phone call 2 hours later from my lawyer who says, guess who's renting their house? The other lawyer who works for you is renting their house. You should go look at it.
Oh.
And I
Oh.
ended up moving the next week
I
into
love it.
that house.
Nice.
But I didn't know until we were finished packing. Same idea. So I get into this about shame, scarcity. Where does all this come from? You know, a lot of you are like, why do I have to be born into this horrible stuff?
Mm.
Well, actually, yeah, you were. That's true. But you're here to dismantle it, and you have to know where it came from to do so. And
Uh-huh.
that's what I talk about in this class.
Yeah.
Um,
That alone is probably worth the package.
Rip.
If you could change that, if that, if you're guaranteed that this will absolutely work, that'd be the reason that somebody should get this package alone.
it
That's
worked for me the other day. I was worried about money. I was worried
fabulous.
about money, and I said, Source, let it be so. It's my divine right to have the exact right amount of money that I need to get all this cool stuff you want me to get done.
Yeah.
Done. Let it be
Yeah.
so. And I
Yep.
got a $4,444 check.
Nice.
Hours, not days, hours later.
Girlfriend,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This is how it works, folks, but you
Yes.
have
Yeah.
to sync up. And it's not that that check didn't come because of hard work. It's that it was about timing. It was about exactly what was necessary.
Yep.
And it was about me not doing the work. I'm trying to teach all of you how to stop working so dang hard. Let the
Thanks.
divine work for you. You are part of it. You are an endless part of it. You have a right for it to work out for you. because you're in the giant mechanism of this great order of the universe. So these things really mess with us. Here's one of the healing sessions. There's the quantum healing group sessions. There is one more module. I'm not sure if it's there. I want to make sure it is. It's about healing slavery.
I thought I saw something about that earlier.
All right, then it must have been up there. But there's another one that matches the scarcity and shame one, and there's a slavery and I can't remember what it said, but
Let me scroll.
I'm just looking for
it'll
that one.
Yeah,
there it
there we
is,
go.
healing slavery and fear. It's the
That's it.
matchup. It's the sister class to the other one around scarcity,
Yeah.
because fear and slavery are also one of the worst sets of programs, and
Yeah.
that this comes from way beyond our planet. So I heard everybody talk about disclosure a little bit earlier. A lot of this will actually support you and give you more evidence to help you understand that we are actually part of a galactic species.
Yes.
There's much more to all this, and it's all in you, and that there is that slavery and fear have been weaponized against us for eons, way
Yeah.
beyond this planet. And so it's not that this is some kind of new human issue. It's not. It's something that is super ancient, and that's why it bothers you so much that you can't seem to get to the bottom of it, or even remove your relationship and guilt with it around some of it too. So, it's because we don't have access to our memory, and I'm going to give it back to you. You need to know why
Yeah.
and how.
Yeah.
How did you end up so afraid?
Wow, that's funny that I was just asking some of these questions as I was stomping around the house going, why don't I remember this? Why don't I have access to this? Whatever. And you gave the analogy of the giant etch-a-sketch. But of course, Source would show up with the answers, right? With like some way to uncover this. And that's through this right here, these teachings. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a whisper.
It's a for
Whisper.
It's a
real.
whisper.
Whisper.
I love
For
that.
real, for real.
Perfect. Thank
Wow.
you, Jenna. And then three more pieces for everybody. These are the healing sessions. There's one called Healer's Delight, Quantum Healing for You, and Deep Energy Foundational Healing. And these are all different. There's different techniques embedded in them. All of them are easy. And at the same time, it's all about you receiving. Because a lot of this is again, many of you who might be new to my work, you'll get started with one of these classes and then you'll find yourself falling asleep. And I want you to know that that's okay, that that's normal, because
Yeah.
what we're doing is multidimensional, and to allow it at first, let yourself keep listening to these things. You're going to listen to them many times. And when you do, it's going to deal with another layer and another layer, and eventually your brain will be able to manage it. But when your body falls asleep, it's doing you a favor, because you're getting that pressure washing at a subconscious level. So listen to these in the background
Yeah.
at first, and then start listening and taking notes, because you'll get the technical stuff, the data parts, the action pieces you want. At first, treat this as a spiritual, mental, and emotional healing, all of these, and let yourself just receive without trying to do the mental work. I try to do it for you in the lectures. But what happens then is then you'll be able to open up into the multidimensionality of that teaching, and then you'll be able to listen to it. And when you're able to, you'll have had so many breakthroughs by then, and you won't even remember what I said in the class. It won't matter at first. And then you'll be able to get what is needed in the tools, etc. So treat this kind of like those healing frequencies that Jenneth and everyone were offering all of you, and I highly recommend that you play with that stuff, and use it often, and use it in the background. You can even play it low. Have no doubts that these things have power, but you could treat my classes the same. Almost
Nice.
like these kinds of frequencies, and then slowly but surely you'll be amazed at what you actually remember out of this stuff. Now, people have asked me, well, how in the holy heck have you taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of classes for 30 years, and how in the world do you remember any of this stuff? Folks, I don't. I don't remember this stuff. I have to listen to my own classes
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's not me who's
Yeah.
teaching. It's my soul. It's God.
Yeah.
It's my gift to
Yes.
you. It's my act of awakening to be in that position where I can give you this stuff through my voice. And it's not me. I am still learning all this. So you'll see for yourself. Hang out with it on your own terms. And use it in very super academic ways if you'd rather. Perfectly fine. We provide the audio, the video, and the transcript. So you
Nice.
can go through and tear it apart and play with it. Run with these tools, use them, modify them, add to them. Keep going. Don't stop. That's the destiny. That's the inevitability. That's us winning this amazing battle in front of us with grace.
Mhm. Wow, what an offer. Thank you.
My
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's interesting, the titles are simple, but when you read the description, you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
love
it's
it.
not what you expect it to be about
No.
necessarily.
I think
You
it's
know,
fascinating.
because you truly come from that land of consciousness, that field of communication. And I think that's important for us to talk about, through courses and things like that and in these
Also,
conversations.
too, I mean, this is why these summits are so important.
Mhm.
And it's been mainly the women who've been, allowing these platforms to really thrive for many decades. Um, but that's why we got to keep talking, why these
Yeah.
communication pieces are so valuable, why these
Yeah.
two ladies, folks, are doing you such an enormous, enormous service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And spending so much time and effort and just being. They're showing up, they're
Yeah.
being, right? And being is the key. It is the most powerful verb of all. Resting's really up there.
Right.
I want a t-shirt that says resting is a verb.
I like it.
But you're when you're resting, you're still being.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I'm
But being
resting, I'm
is really truly being your true self.
Mhm.
Not the Elizabeth self, not the story, not the trauma, not the
Yeah.
past lives, not even the
Yeah.
universe, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
gotcha.
that's the key.
Infinite
Then
being.
miracles happen and all the superpowers come
Yes.
through.
Yes.
Which is really a fun time in your life when all
Yeah,
things, yeah.
and it opens up some of the powers of connection.
Yeah.
People, they want contact. Dr. T is coming on next.
Mhm.
He has contact to this species that we call angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angels and demons are a species of beings,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they have their own agendas.
Yes.
But they also have incredible abilities that are magnified by the human presence and by our human nature. And that's why they love us so much, because they can't do what we can do. They don't have access to all 12 dimensions like we do.
Mhm.
And if you want contact with these magnificent beings, my friends, heal your trauma, work at it, keep working at it, recognize that you are not the body anymore, and keep serving your body in sovereign service. And my friends, you'll begin to remember stuff's going to
Yeah.
happen. Contact's going to happen. Someone asked, how do I make contact? Work on yourself. Work
Yeah.
on yourself. Just be open.
Yeah.
Be open to loving yourself the way that God does. If we can heal these structures, then we can see one another and we can see ourselves
Mm.
the way we really are.
I love that you say that. And when my channel came online, I didn't really ever expect it to, right? And then I just thought that I was like gonna think things in my head, and it wasn't like that at all. And I think it's so important for if people really want that, the healing journey is the way to go.
Thank
It's
you,
you,
Janet.
yeah.
I've noticed that about you all these years. You've worked so hard at it.
Thank you for noticing me.
I do,
Right? Yeah.
I do. I
I
did.
Yeah, it was funny. I wanted you on earlier in the series, like when we began this program, and
Thank you.
it was just like never the right time though. It just felt like And then it was like, now we're talking oneness. Now we bring Elizabeth.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
can see that. Yes.
That's great.
Elizabeth, it was really nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you
Oh,
and
it's
to
so nice to meet you too.
yeah, and to have you share with. I mean, I could probably nerd out with you for a
We
while.
Yeah,
will.
you could.
No, we will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need a Mystic Space Weather show with you
I
too.
know, right? Yes,
Oh, yeah,
stellar
for sure.
cycles and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But
Fabulous.
what are some parting words for us today? I know we're getting to the end of this.
My parting words are there is an enormous program ultimately that summits like this and the kind of work that we're all looking at tend to function towards dismantling, and I want to name it. And it's a program that I call the Human Hate Program.
Mhm.
The Human Hate Program. And this you'll find all over the place. You'll find it in the way people design their businesses. You'll find it in the way that the different oligarchs perceive humanity and then try to basically feed that to you via Hollywood and other means.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of fear and division between human beings and divide and conquer. But human hatred programming also really ultimately it's to get you to hate yourself. It's to get you to stop seeing yourself in God's eyes. So my friends, I want you to dismantle this, but it's easy. Like so many of these things, like the titles, they look simple. And at the same time, what happens when you take part in these classes is more complicated than that. It's more refined. And complexity requires refinement. But we have to start with foundations. So the very first thing that you can do to constantly dismantle this human hatred programming, where you hate yourself or others, is for you to stop identifying as human. Because if you can do that, then you're going to see just how magnificent and miraculous their existence really is. Yours. So what do? You say, Source God, show me. Show me. Show me how you see me today. Don't do anything else than that. Don't ask more questions. Just ask. That's your homework.
I
I
love it.
love that.
Just
Woo!
ask.
I
Show
think
me.
that's also a perfect clip too.
I know.
Thank you,
Show me.
Elizabeth. Thank you so
I love
much.
both of you and everyone on this call. Thank you so much. It
Yeah,
was
thank
so great
you.
to talk to you. Very exciting to be peer to peer with your amazing minds and hearts. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Wow. Woo.
Oh,
Dang, that girl's a wealth of knowledge.
so many. Feel free to put reactions in the or heart bursts or whatever in the
Liz says, thank you so
reaction.
much. Kay says, hugs. The one above that says, amazing call, ladies. Thank you. And definitely need to hear from her again. Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, we could go so many places.
Yes.
We will.
Well, don't go
We will.
anywhere.
Much
We
to
still
come.
have, I know, right? We still have
Enjoy
another
Dr.
great,
T.
Thank you.
we have another great speaker. Like Elizabeth said, we have Dr. T up next. And he is super, super interesting to work with as well.
Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to take one breath just to let you
Recenter.
recenter. Want to remind you to find things. You can find them at houthustle.com/live. houthustle.com/live. Do you need a brief break before we go? Okay, I think I'm okay too. All right. I saw Dr. T jump in
Go
here.
out and back in so you can re-admit her in a second.
Okay. Let's just take one more deep breath in through that belly as we learned this morning.
But if we want to center ourselves and do it through our nose.
All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring Dr. T up and we'll start a new recording and get going here. Wow. What a day.
And then we get to get Dr. T. My goodness.
I know.
What a
I
great
like
way to
the-
close off the day. One of our faves.
All right, here we go. We admit a few more people. All right. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
And this is a How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Dr. T and healing with the angels. And he is one of our favorite guests. It just always moves the audience. It's almost as soon as he comes on, he holds this presence and I get all giddy and crazy. So I'll try to like restrain myself just a little bit from the insanity. But get ready. If you have something going on, please feel free to participate. Tell us in the chat. We're going to do some healing today. We're going to do some real change work, and it's going to happen really fast because it's Dr. T.
That's right. Shira says, "Yay, Dr. T," with all these exclamation points, and I feel the same way.
Let me just say something. When you first came on and we first got introduced to you, I was like, dude, he's kind of a nutcase. I'm not sure that I like could really receive, from you.
That's funny because I
And
was
then,
completely opposite.
yeah, I think you were. And then it was like the more that we had conversations, I was like, oh my gosh, everything's changing instantaneously. And I was just in shock and awe. And I was like, wow, this dude is the real dude. And we talked a little bit about it being certain that you're so certain of it these days. I
remember
would
that.
like again when after you were off the call, I was like, it's just you're so certain of your work. Can you talk a little bit about that certainty? When did that come into your life that you became so certain on how these angels heal?
Well, it took a while. It took about 6 months before I could even start to believe this is what was happening because, I'm a trained chiropractor and, I was doing a lot of different chiropractic techniques. And then when the angels came along, I could just tell them what to do. And it was just, it was just kind of mind blowing. It's like, wait a minute. They can fix a nervous system issue, so once that's continued to happen, it did take me about 6 months, and that was over 10 years ago. But you see it enough, you can't help but start to believe it, and then when you start to believe it, then everything changes. When you truly believe from the depths of your heart that something is real. That intention is so clean and clear that it's just about instantaneous. We're weaving this thought into reality.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know how else to answer your question other than seeing it so many times. It's like, yeah, of course it's going to be gone.
Yes. Yeah.
You just kind of accept it, like, yeah, this is how. And I think they like that as well. I think the angels like that certainty, that belief, that just that confident signal is we're using intention. So that signal of like, okay, this is going to perform an action, and it does. It's amazing. And with what we're promoting here is angelic heart focus. That is your own, that's your guardian angel that's saved your butt so many times in life, and got you out of trouble or got you into trouble. I don't know, we all have different experiences, and people call them spirit guides. I believe it's your guardian angel, and how we've laid the work out is so that anybody can just be more clear, have that clarity of like, okay, if you do this, magic is going to happen because it's your angel doing it. And so it was a lot of fun bringing that forth and having that available for everyone.
Yeah.
So I want to point out just real quickly for the audience, one of the things that we've asked them to do is kind of circle the whispers. So these are clues that we hear in maybe some of the different talks today and throughout our lives. And one of the whispers I just heard from you and the speaker that we just had right now was doing things from intentionality, like being so intentional, like, with full on faith that something is happening. We just heard beautiful Elizabeth tell us about like how she would pack before she even knew but she knew she was moving, but she didn't know where. And so the angels really love it, as you say, right? Whenever we do something with action and intentionality, can you, and also that belief also sets things in motion. And you said that the angels really love that. Can you talk a little bit about how that might help with our healing as well? You alluded to that a little bit, but how can we do this for ourselves?
Mm.
Well, I think that has to be a natural mindset. You have to wake up. I mean, like, initially you want to wake up in a state of gratitude. You might write that down to remind yourself and you might do it a few days in a row, and then all of a sudden you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
The mind starts bouncing around to other stuff. Oh, you wake up, you have all these things to do, and then you kind of you start to forget. So I like to have posting notes to make sure that you set the intention for the day,
Yes.
especially for yourself and being grateful. Being grateful, having gratitude calls more goodness to appear. How lucky are we to be able to breathe and live these lives that we're living, and really setting that intention to have more joy, more joy bubbles, more joy, more cheer and fun. It sounded like a pretty heavy conversation I got it on at the very end there with Elizabeth. And I mean, I completely agree with her as well, that there's an agenda that's trying to pull us away from ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why I always, we usually start these sorts of things, opening the heart channel and getting the heart channel working, because it closes so much so easy on so many of us. And that is just the idea of having compassion for yourself. And kind of along what she was talking about is, we've been taught. I mean, I don't like to agree with her, but truth is truth, and we've been taught to be mean to ourselves, and to dislike ourselves for whatever reason. I mean, it literally is in the universe, and so we have to counteract that with using our own intent, using our own angels. Having that compassion for ourselves, having that leniency and mercy and deep love and care, more so than we do for our animals and for our friends and our lovers. And so, no one knows what you've been through in life. No one knows what I've been through. And so you and I can have the most compassion for ourselves.
Yeah. I have two questions before we go into some healing work. One of them is there sometimes a healing journey that a person has to go through to gain greater awareness? So okay.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I mean, that's part of acceptance, of course, is getting to the point where you can accept all of it, the good and the bad. I mean, we grow from the bad stuff.
We do.
And the bad stuff makes forces you to look harder, forces you to love harder, to grow more. The most difficult clients I have are the ones who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and that's not a reference to money. It's a reference to never having to do anything for work or for growth. Or ever had anything that's forced them into those positions, And so while I don't really want to have any more motorcycle accidents, the ones that I've been in did teach me a lot. And I'm still alive. I'm still here. So, I prefer the good stuff. I think I've had enough of the bad.
Right? You're like angels.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Let's make this change the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then in some places, are you feeling that you actually would then heal some emotional wound so that they could heal something physical? Do you ever feel like it kind of flip-flops in that way? Sometimes it's the physical and then it's the emotional, or what is your experience with that?
My experience really is it's usually emotion first. Emotion, it's hidden, it hides. I think that is the biggest. I think that's the most important part of angelic heart focus is the emotional work, because I see it all. I see it all the time. Oh well, I lifted this box over the weekend and I threw my back out and hurts up here and this and that. And I'll treat emotion, and 90% of that pain will go away, and the rest will disappear after that. What was happening before you moved the box? Well, I told that rotten husband of mine to get out, and
right?
Okay. I mean, it's just so many times and so many things, so many dis-ease. I think that all of it, I think A to Z has emotional components. Yes, we deal with toxins, we deal with physical injury. There's other things, but we're emotional, animals. I mean, we are, emotion runs us, or emotion drives us, and so the more that we're able to move through our various emotional states, the cleaner we're able to do that and manage that field, the healthier we stay.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. Yeah. I would have to agree with you on that as well. So I love that answer because I feel like it's here to teach us something in a lot of ways. Do you ever think that like sometimes people who have like a horrific car accident, but they're looking for a reason to move on. Do you think, knowing what you know from the angel, that that is true? Or is it just that person's will to live?
It's such a loaded question.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a reason behind why, a death doesn't happen in a lot of
Yeah,
cases?
yes, I do. There has to be a higher order, right? A higher
Uh-huh.
order, because I mean, can a bad accident just happen? Well, I have to say yes, they can. But
Mhm.
in doing so, they're how they affect us is the next question. Is was it just out of the blue? Did it just happen to me? Well, I don't really find that to be true.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find that there's
Yeah.
always some
Something.
else pushing that, and I don't like to talk about that like around auto accidents or something like that, because it
Mhm.
seems so unfair to be like, well, you deserve that,
Sure.
well, you
Yeah.
don't deserve anything negative. But if we have to grow from an experience and it happens to be an accident, then so be it.
Uh-huh.
God works in mysterious ways. There's sometimes there's stuff that goes on that is there to teach you.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get the lesson sometimes. Like, really? I mean,
Right.
I just split my toe wide open on an empty glass bottle on the beach. What the hell is that?
What did you
I don't
learn? I'm
know. I don't know.
curious.
Yeah.
Because I got hit in the head like a couple
Yeah.
of times. Like
Yeah.
I split my head open when we were doing some yard work, and then
She got hit by a wasp and her eyes swelled as
my
well.
whole face swelled. And then right after that, like I near missed a big old tree branch that fell down like 2 days later after the head thing. And I was like, okay, what am I missing here? What am I supposed to know here? So I've been asking her a lot of questions. So I was curious.
On the head to wake up.
Yeah, I think it has to do with food.
How long ago was that?
Not that long ago, like weeks
Oh,
ago.
so
Right.
recently. Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
don't
Maybe
know. Something going
Months,
on up
maybe.
there.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm listening now.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I smacked my head as well. I was looking around for something, and you got to watch where you're walking, right? You got to watch where you're looking, and sure enough, I mean, I did the same thing looking for a tool 2 days ago. I was like, you walked up here, you saw that ledge sitting there. Couldn't you have
Yeah.
just not smashed your forehead on it? But sometimes sometimes that's the nature of of how we learn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, why don't you go ahead and put some of the things in the chat that you would like to change? It doesn't have to be necessarily a physical pain in your body to heal, but it could be anything emotional as well. And we'll go ahead and talk about some of these.
Let's see what's in the
One
chat.
person had something with the heart up here.
Yeah. They wanted to know about healing their heart. Maybe it was chakra.
Chakra. And maybe we talk about the difference between a chakra and just like truly healing the heart when it comes to a relationship or heart attacks or something like that.
Well, what I always do is I always start every session. I take my
Yes,
right
yes.
hand, I go underneath my left armpit, and I
Uh-huh.
drop down one hand width from my
Right.
left armpit. I just press in there, just press anywhere in there. That's called the mid-axillary line. And that's going to be tender on about 80% of the people on here, probably. And anyone, well, I guess we're not seeing hands raised. So probably 80% of people have that tenderness.
Mhm.
And so what I
A lot of
find in
hands are raising
practice,
now.
yeah, a lot of hands are raised. Yeah, in practice, I find that it's much more difficult to help somebody if that is tender, and that is a heart channel. That's not a stiff muscle. Mine's not tender at all. And half the people won't be tender, but half of the people it will be tender on, and that's just that can be from any moment in time in life. And it's just one of these things that somehow managed to observe. I used to do a technique where I would palpate all the way through the body and look for tender spots, and I kept finding that spot being tender. And the only thing that corrected that spot was compassion for yourself. So I would ask everybody to where that spot is, where's tender. You're going to you can just fill your heart with compassion for yourself. So you don't have to breathe in through there. You don't just imagine your heart and fill it with compassion for yourself, which is that pity and that empathy and care and warmth and love and kindness. So I prefer to have people close their eyes and fill your heart with tenderness and gentleness towards yourself. The same level of leniency you have for your animal or your partner. That same kindness. And so I stick with these words, with this vibration of compassion for almost about a minute, is about how long it takes. And then I say, move your mind over towards all the things that you enjoy about yourself, all the things you recognize, and all the good qualities that you bring, things that you value and respect, things that you prize, things you cherish about yourself, things you admire, things you treasure, things you have a high opinion of, all the things that you do you're not waiting for a trophy, you're not waiting for a prize, you just do them because it's the best thing, it's the right thing to do. And you get to have a high opinion of that about yourself. And all of this rolls into being a gratefulness and a thankfulness for who you are, who you've become in life. And then I would ask you to take a little breath in and a little breath out. And that should clear everybody who had tenderness on that spot. It should all be gone. It is gone. You can go back and check. I'm sure it's going to be gone.
So gone.
It's and it can be really sharp. And if it isn't gone, then you're going to need to do more emotional work.
Yeah.
You just need to do it again. That's all you have to do is just do it a couple of times, and that's compassion and appreciation for yourself for about 1 minute is how long it takes.
Yeah.
So now that we have all those open, what do we want to do here? We've got a couple people.
And-
Somebody broke a wrist out there. That's no fun.
You can raise your hand as well.
Yeah.
Good.
You just click
Good.
the raise hand button
Yes.
and then write it on the chat as well. You can do that in live stream as well.
So I want to do. I saw this person had broken their wrist. Fluke accident. There we go. There it is. A fluke accident.
Accident.
Dominant hand, of course. Yes, angels tried warning you something upsetting was going to occur. Dream messages. So when I see broken bones, I like to do something special for them, because a broken bone opens the body up to things that can really create havoc later on. And I don't know what bone it was. Probably right hand, I'm guessing. But for Danny, I'm going to correct that really quick, because when we actually break a bone, it's like pulling a tooth. You are exposed. Your bone marrow is exposed to other things in your body. Do we have bacterium, viruses, mold, fungi, yeast, parasite, all these other things in the body all the time? Yes, we do. Everybody has it. And so these things are fine until they're not. Kind of like C. difficile. It's totally normal in the body until it's not. So for Danny, we're just going to make sure that we're just going to fix this really quick. And I know that this bone will heal up a lot faster now, and we're going to avoid something in the future. So Danny, wherever you are, take a breath in and a breath out. Okay, so now what do we want to do?
There's a lot of gut stuff too.
It's really funny. I wonder.
Because I know Leonka has it and a little bit, and then there's others that have
A lot of people are writing it on. Yeah.
Did he just freeze on us?
No, I'm here.
Okay. You're
Trick or
just
treat.
still reading the chat.
He said trick or
I had
treat.
a dream. I had a dream it was April Fool's Day, and in the dream somebody was telling me something completely foolish. I was like, "It's not April, damn it, it's June." And I finally woke up and was like, "Okay, what the hell? Where am I?" Okay, so yeah, a couple things going on here with people. So let's just clear up some emotion really quick here. And so, how do we know if someone is not processing their emotion very well? How do we know it for sure? Guarantee it? Well, if you bring that emotion to mind and you actually feel it in your body, that's how I know it's anchored. So I would ask everybody to close your eyes, and bring to mind anger, bring to mind frustration, and oh my gosh, what the heck is anger and boiling and seething and stewing? And how many of you could feel that? Can feel a physical sensation of that? You can raise a hand, you can raise a finger, you can just, I mean, it's amazing. Even people who have really worked on it for years and years and years, when I do that demonstration, it's there. And if you feel it, that means it's still in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do the same thing with grief. So let's have you close your eyes and bring to mind heartache and grief and sadness and that deep sorrow. That loss, when we have loss. Yeah, so many people feel that. Usually in the heart, or somewhere in the tummy. The tummy is the seat of the subconscious, that's where most emotions are stored, is our tummies. So how do I want to help everybody here today? Should we do some heart? Should we do angelic heart focus? Let's go right to angels and do a group healing with all of this stuff. Or disenfranchised. Oh, disenfranchised. Okay, so I was working today anyhow, so I have all my stuff right here.
What?
Hello. You still there?
Sorry, Bianca was talking.
I distracted her. Yes, we're here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to talk for a bit, and you just let your minds wander around the things that I'm talking about.
Yes.
And so what we're going to look at is what we call disenfranchised grief. Why is it disenfranchised? Because it's not like a sudden loss. It's not like something a typical way we describe a grief. This is more like grief that accumulates over time.
Yeah.
So this can be like for a parent having their child leave home, becoming an empty nester. For other people, it could be becoming a caregiver, or losing the role of being the person others depend on. So you just let these experiences drift through your mind. As you're doing that, I'm holding intention for angels to clear you and cleanse you from this grief. We go through divorces, separations, less central in the lives of our family or our friends, watching family traditions fade or change.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
We cover it all. Infertility, grief of not having the family structure one once had. Relationships changing shape, love turning to hate, love becoming a friendship fading into the distance, connections that never fully resolve, or relationships that disappear without explanation. Losing closeness with someone who's still alive, or being or feeling forgotten, emotionally left behind. Losing a community or a group, a mentor or a hairstylist. Changes in the mind and body as we age, that loss of that sense of youth. Hearing can change, our agility, our strength, our physical appearance, some of that loss of wonder, spontaneity with life. That loss of innocence. Our lives become more complicated and layered. This could be cognitive changes, mental health struggles, loss of trust in one's body, career changes, loss of professional identity, no longer feeling useful or needed, retirement. Some people can't wait to retire until they retire. And grief over the way things used to be. That loss of stability. Some of our government agencies these days, there's all kinds of things that familiar buildings disappear, restaurants change hands. These things are small, but they can make us feel displaced. We have our environment. We have faded photographs. We have a home that was sold, objects that carry emotional weight. And again, some of our culture are changes in our cultural norms.
Yeah.
Certainly, grief around being safe and secure. You know, we've all seen some of these natural disasters. People have been assaulted, betrayed, homes broken into. These are things. These things stay with us. Loss of trust in institutions that once felt stable or fair.
School shootings.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. All of this, we can look across the whole spectrum, and we could talk about this for an hour, but we don't have an hour.
No.
But just a loss of privacy, the loss of way things used to be, it's a big weight we're all carrying. Our cultural traditions, our the neighborhood identities, death of a pet, you know, loss of a partner. I mean, again, this could go on for a long time, but let's clear all this stuff up here. So I would ask you to take a small breath in down to the bottom of your feet. And in your mind, you're going to tell it, I see, recognize, and release all disenfranchised grief. I see it, I recognize it, I release it. As you breathe out, see it come up and out of the body, out into the universe, leaving the body, mind, and spirit. And move your mind over first to that chair you're sitting on, how strong it is, how it is, how you're totally safe and secure. Yeah, how nice that feeling is to have that security underneath of you and to be safe and secure, where the perfect ease can start moving back into every cell. And so these are a lot of words that I'm talking about, but all of this is built into Angelic Heart Focus. And the words are how nice it feels to be safe and secure, have that peace of mind come back in, that serenity of being totally present, where the mind doesn't wander off into the future or the past. And then all the other beautiful things that come with life start emerging, right? It restores our optimism, our enthusiasm, all the other things that matter, that bring us joy. Speaking of joy, those joy bubbles, spontaneous arising of happiness, bringing delight everywhere they go. And we've already talked about, being grateful. You know, it amplifies abundance. It calls more goodness to appear. You know, the take home really is the idea that all of us have the ability to influence the flow and direction of all events in life. That's what we do. And the more you recognize that and accept your ability to influence the flow of direction in life, you reclaim your story. You become not only the student, but also the artist, the sculptor. And then we move into accepting all that life has brought. You know, acceptance, we have to accept it all, either the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's what makes us grow. Period. Yep, makes us grow. Acceptance brings peace. It transforms resistance into gentle cooperation with all of life. And it makes all of it makes our intentions more clear. You know, that focused projection of a preferred outcome. What do you want your day to look like? What should your week look like? What should your life look like? All of these things, this is harmonizes our will and our faith, weaves our thought into reality. And that's as I sit here and do this, do I think, do I know? Is it guaranteed angels are doing something? Yeah, I've asked them to. And so I know that that's happening. And I ask you to take a breath in and a breath out. Now, I should have had people check for more discomfort and pain and that sort of thing, but I like to, after I do that, I have people move around a little bit, put some energy in your nervous system. And the nervous system looks around, and angels, I direct angels right now to refine the nervous system. And that's how so many times I go after pain, people who are experiencing pain. We talked about, pain and dis-ease at the start. It's like, yeah, I think you clear up all the emotion, everything starts changing. The nervous system gets to be freed of distortion. We talk about all of this stuff in an Angelic Heart Focus, which is what we're peddling today, isn't it?
Yes.
It's oversharing. Yes.
Okay, sorry. Sharing,
it.
pedaling. I like pedaling. Anyhow, let me see what else we want to do here.
Love it. Dana says
Yeah,
sitting love and gratitude, and Katie says grateful equals happy, happy, joy, joy.
yeah, absolutely, right?
I never thought of grief as being attachment, right? But all of that was attachment. Like
Yeah.
we are attached to how it
Yeah. Oh,
was.
really?
You know, I was thinking my empty nest that I'm having with my son lately. You know, I miss him being like needing me, I guess. And
Yeah,
it's so interesting because that's just one of my attachments from my past that I'm like, I do have it still. And that's grief.
it's one of the
Yeah.
things that it's relatively new in regards to how we're looking at processing some of these emotions, but it's
Yeah.
huge. It accumulates over time. All of
It
us have it.
does.
And
Yeah.
we've just been having some absolute miracles with
Yeah.
that particular avenue. We also have been looking at things you didn't want to hear or things you didn't want to see. And that's two other things that bring up a lot of really
Yeah.
amazing results, absolutely fascinating results.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that different take and how you may not have seen how that would. The only reason why I kind of knew was because my best friend got divorced. No, she had a boyfriend. They weren't together, but she helped like raise children. And when they split up, she didn't realize that she had grief over the
Yeah,
children not
sure.
being in her life anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's yeah.
Even talking
absolutely.
about it, I feel like it's like let go.
Right. You
Right.
get more.
As soon as like something shifted, for sure.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm seeing some of this other stuff out here. Some of this gut stuff. There's a lady with a shoulder out there for a year and a half. So what I'm going to do now that we just did a little bit of emotional work, let me just do a couple of what I call physical. So this is almost like going to see your chiropractor, only it's better because it's angels and they just know they just figure this stuff out. But so somebody had a left shoulder, and then I saw a couple other things on here.
Like a neck C1 and C2, lower back bulging
Yeah, a
disc.
couple things like that. Yeah. So let me
I have an L5.
I don't even want to know if I have any of those. So I'm good not knowing. And they want to know how they can get their cerebral fluid flowing back and forth. I think that's something people have been talking about too.
Just the spine in general.
Well, we've been highly polluted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been highly polluted. Our environment is not the same as it used to be. Everything is changing. We've got, I mean, it's just it seems like a continual assault on humanity. Our food is awful. I mean, have you seen some of these videos where the wild animals won't even eat the food? I mean, it's crazy.
No, but I can believe it.
It's true. It's true. They're showing it's all over TikTok. These ranchers are going out and dumping all kinds of carrot, including organic. A lot of organic food.
And they won't go to it.
Wild animals won't eat it.
Wow.
It's pretty.
They know.
Yeah, because they know.
Yeah.
And so our food is not like it used to be. We've had so many things challenging humanity. The microplastics, the forever chemicals that are out there.
Yeah.
We have no say in it. They get to do all this stuff. They don't have to tell us anything. It's just, I mean, we're kind of adrift at sea. So what I'm doing right now is I'm talking. Believe it or not, I can do 5 things at once. I'm treating all the all the discs, any weird spinal stuff. So you can. Anybody with a sore neck should be able to turn your neck back and forth right now. That would help. Anyone with low back pain, they could move that around. Jennifer, you were the one that did with the splits, wasn't that you?
Yeah, I was the one that, well, it's becoming a longer story now because now it's basically my L5 gets twisted and it gets like hit on a nerve. And then I just get nerve pain all down the right leg. And I kept thinking that it was a hip joint, but it's not
It's more
necessarily.
sciatic.
Yeah, it's
More sciatic.
Yeah,
You have that now?
yeah. I have it all the time.
You have it all the time. Well, we
Yeah.
can't have that. We can't be having that all the time, damn it. So let me do this. So this is cranial sacral. Somebody asked about getting cerebral spinal fluid moving again, so I'm going to do that. and I already looked at the discs, so that's going to help reduce that. What I find happens with discs is we have pathogens. We have bacteria, nanobacteria, weird bugs that love to eat on our discs. And I know that sounds weird, but everything I do sounds weird until stuff disappears.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
only
what
weird until it works. And then
it's
when
only
it
weird
works,
until
everybody's
until it works for everybody.
right.
So if anyone else is experiencing sciatica, so I'm going to go right to that nerve and ask the vibratory angels to do what they do, and that is match frequencies. So so we can do this around certainly around what I'm seeing here. And then we can also do what I call harmonizers to protect everybody. We also do use a specific DNA technique as well. It's in angelic heart focus. I put it in there. So that little self-help program is very powerful. It's what I use on myself every day, and it's how I I'm able to do what I do in my life. Pretty active person. Take a breath in, take a breath out. So it looks like I'm just working on you, Jennifer. I'm working on everybody. I'm putting it into a field, and the information is carried out by the angels. So let's have you recheck that. I don't remember, was it right side or left side?
Yeah, it's the right. I feel it in my foot.
So let's have you stand. Let's have you stand. Let's go ahead and stand for a moment.
It actually hurts more when I'm not standing.
Yeah, when you're not standing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because it's interthecal pressure is what happens when we sit, and so that's why it puts more pressure on that nerve.
That's true.
80% higher sitting. Sitting's the worst thing we can do. It's better to lie down or stand than sit.
Well, just to do the rest of the show.
Yeah.
So what's happening? What's happening there now, Jenna?
No, it's like a 1 right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm not sure it's that kind of show, Janet.
It's like,
That's over on those other channels.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing. Thank you.
Well, if you notice, you guys will notice that I often sit weird during these shows. Like
Yeah.
Leonka's like in this like cute little cross leg. I actually have a PT that wants me to sit like this, and I wear these like short little dresses, and I'm like, okay. So basically, you're saying I should do less sitting.
Yeah, do less sitting. That actually should disappear from what we just did right now.
Did disappear just right now.
Yeah, it
Nice.
should just go away with what I just did. I'm going to do that's a little bit more of that for everyone. And now that you might still have that for it might be another week before it completely goes away, because anytime we have pain, there is some damage being done to that nerve, and the nerves take longer to heal than muscle or less like an artery or a vein. But you should notice it's less and continues to get less. With that kind of injury, I like massage, especially buttock, your lower back, but your butt. Really have somebody get in there and clean all those knots out of there, because the piriformis is what was grabbing that nerve.
Okay.
But I think that right now it feels like that's going to heal up. I mean, I'm looking at you only right now, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's going to be the end of it for you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. She's tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you.
Yeah, everybody's getting, everyone's getting, none of us like to hear complaints about our health, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we want everybody to be, we want everybody to feel good all the time.
Yes,
And
yes, we do.
so, I feel very blessed to have this access to these angels. So Natalie, I did work directly on that shoulder there. That should be better. Maybe you can let us know in the chat if that's gone. Here's Karen with Crohn's. Okay, so let me do some more gut stuff for everybody.
Okay.
Because the tummy is the liver. Annika, we talked about this last time.
Yes,
I think is liver. Liver is key for just about all digestive issues. We tend to think, oh, it's the stomach or it's the small or large intestine. Well, the liver makes the bile. Gallbladder stores it, and the pancreas creates our digestive enzymes. So if that bile is not as strong as it could be or should be, we tend to get gastric reflux. We tend to get heartburn, hemorrhoids, and slow to no digestion.
Yeah, that's me.
So and then so outside of this treatment, any you can Google foods for the liver. You're going to
Yeah.
find watercresses out there. There's a lot of different things. Certainly, you can take like milk thistle, and there's all kinds of stuff out there for the liver now. And I don't suggest doing a liver cleanse, but I think there's plenty of stuff out there that support the liver. Schizandra is probably one of my favorites.
What about parasitic cleanse? I don't know. I'm just so
I'm
interested.
just not, I'm just not a giant fan of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that we should take stuff for that to keep the population down. But
Uh-huh.
we're seeing more and more of all of this stuff today because of what's happening around. I mean,
In their food.
it's in our food.
Yeah.
It's in our, it's electromagnetics are absolutely off the planet now. We are surrounded. You can't go anywhere on the planet without being surrounded and bathed in electromagnetic fields.
Yes.
So we're then we can talk about COVID interventions, right? And how that doesn't, if you got one intervention on, they were designed to be spread among 10 of us. So we have a lot of stuff that's in the environment now that wasn't here 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so lots of changes happening there. So I'm all done here with liver, gallbladder, and pancreas, and I'm going to go right into the intestinal tract for some people on here who have some more severe stuff going on. Certainly, I like Angelic Heart Focus. I like what we're selling. I like what we've put together. You can
Yeah.
use it for all of this stuff that's been listed on here, and it's very, very, very powerful. I'm very, very proud of it.
Yes. We've noticed it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, we have 100%. And even the feedback that for people who have joined us before and have participated in taking learning that the feedback we've gotten from our peeps, from our community, and for the Angelic Heart Focus has been phenomenal. I think I'm saying the title right.
Take a breath in and a breath out. I think I just posted, or I think we're just getting ready to post a YouTube video on it, a demonstration I did with a guy who had open heart surgery. He had open heart surgery 4 months prior. This guy could hardly move. He looked 1,000 years old. He was my age. He could barely move. I mean, he looked like, I was like, dude, what is up with you, man? Are you constipated, vomiting, or both? I mean, what the hell? He could hardly even move. He's like, dude, my chest is, I am in so much pain all the time. This poor bastard. It's unbelievable how much pain this guy was in. Back pain, neck, his whole body.
Yeah,
He could
yeah.
hardly move. He's like, it feels like every breath I take, there's something here. Well, they wire shut the sternum where they cracked it open on him because he had open heart surgery. And of course, he goes to the doctor that morning. He happens to lives with my sister. He's a roommate of my sister's. So I just happened to see him in the afternoon, and he said, yeah, I just got back from the doctor. I said, well, what'd they say about it? He said, they said, that's normal. That'll go away in about 6 to 8 months, So I did Angelic Heart Focus with him, and we recorded it, and completely gone. 100% pain-free within 10 minutes. Yeah, within 10.
Wow.
He's just sitting there going, I don't believe that. I don't know how to believe this. It's because implanted genome, when we put implanted products into our body will reject them. That means breast implants, hip replacements, wires for his bone, that screws, plates, all of these things. All of that is addressed by Angelic Heart Focus, and that's really all I did on him was tell his body, his mind, that these were normal tissues now. And
nice.
I mean, it's fascinating. I think it's only about 5 minutes long, but within 5 minutes, I had him literally dancing, and I just told him how to do it. So it's really, really cool and powerful for that.
Oh, I'm excited to watch that, and I encourage others to go and watch that once you get it posted.
It's
just
out
so
there.
You guys know, my leg still doesn't hurt, and it usually hurts all the time, but for right now, it doesn't.
You're going to expect that to continue.
Then we'll both be doing the happy dance.
Oh, please
Yeah.
let me do the happy dance.
Yeah. Doing the
That's
jig.
right.
That's what I told Brian. I think you're
Yeah,
ready to do the jig.
That's right. Oh, lots of people doing celebrations and high fives. I'm glad to hear that. Some people have been talking about earringing.
Yeah, Pat. Oh, that's tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Yeah,
Tinnitus.
Somebody out there with tinnitus.
Yeah.
could be your angels.
So
They're really ringing. They're ringing all those ancient angelic bells.
so
Amen.
I'm going to treat this because it's horrible, and we have more tinnitus today than I have ever seen. 35 years of practice in the last 5 years. So it also had something to do with COVID for sure, was involved with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not sure exactly what. But what the heck is going on here? We're going to do something here. Let's see. So I did a treatment for tinnitus. Other people have it here, it looks like. Still have pain in my deltoid when I lift my arm up. Okay, so don't lift your arm up, Natalia. That's a bad joke. That was a joke. So I did a treatment. I did a treatment for tinnitus in one of my last classes. So I teach total knowledge technique. That's the flagship program. Angelic Heart Focus is what we're promoting here.
Okay.
Angelic Heart Focus has 80% of the knowledge in it from total knowledge technique. Doesn't have it all. It couldn't have it all. It's just two different things. This is a self-healing module for you that you can watch over and over and over. It's all videos. The whole thing is under an hour. It's really easy to do. But what I was doing was treating everybody in the class. 25 people. I'm sorry. There's 25 people in the class, but 10 people out of 25 people had tinnitus, and it all has been developed in the last 5 years out of the blue. Tinnitus. So I treated it like I'm about to do right now, and I'm going to do it for everybody because some of us can have this in the ear but not have tinnitus. For some reason, I don't know if it's a viral particle or what it is exactly, but COVID brought it on. Anyhow, so I treat everybody, these 12 people for tinnitus. 10 of them, it went away on the spot. One woman regained her hearing. She was deaf in an ear. She regained hearing in that ear, and one person that didn't get better. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like when angels do that. So we're going to do that right now for everyone. And I'm looking at, the beautiful thing is, this is all based on quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics works when you look at something, right? So I look and I intend and I imagine and I visualize, and the angels come in and do the work. And so I can just look at any anatomy chart, and here I'm going right to your ear. I'm going right into the cochlea of the ear. That's where these semicircular canals, and I look at it. Angels go in there and they start matching frequencies. Is how this all works. And stuff disappears. Knee arthrosis. What is arthrosis?
Arthritis, maybe?
Arthrosis. I don't know.
Osteoporosis.
Never heard of it. But we're going to treat it.
Okay. I say okay, like I'm jumped on board.
You're like my knee sometimes.
Yeah.
My knee does pop a little bit.
Okay, that's tinnitus.
Glaucoma.
And here's knees. Supposed to be our knees. And this is a DNA activation summit, right? This is what you've kind of proposed, right?
It is a piece of that, but it is Whispers of Oneness.
Whispers of Oneness. I love it.
Yeah. I have a question outside of this.
But we do cover DNA activation, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go right ahead, Jenna.
Those that got the COVID vaccination, are you finding that there's anything that needs to be healed around that?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
We can repealing that.
Yeah, and that is in Angelic Heart Focus. I put it in Angelic
Okay.
Heart Focus.
Awesome.
Great.
So it is in there, and it is a form of DNA activation, because what was in that is messenger RNA.
RNA,
Messenger RNA? What does messenger RNA do? It sends a signal. It tells the DNA what to replicate. That's why it replicates the spike protein, and that's what we need to have shut off, because the spike protein is not natural to the human body.
I see.
That spike protein was manufactured in a lab, and that's not me saying that. That's all been proven by scientists
Yes.
around the
Truth.
world, have all
Yeah.
come to the same truth. There's no
Yeah.
question. That's why we're seeing all this crazy stuff right now. Crazy cancers, crazy people dropping dead under the age of 50, crazy cancers in people under the age of 50. We've never seen this before. Never seen any of this stuff.
And you're directly linking this to COVID.
100%.
Interesting.
100%. I knew it was happening right away, because all the calls I got for all the weird menstrual issues women were having.
So some could be long-term COVID, it still resides in them, and the other could be the vaccination.
100%.
So two different things going on too.
100%, Jennifer. 100%. Absolutely. So that's knees, and let me do this for everyone. So we will shut that mechanism off. The messenger. So yeah, it's kind of a long story. It's in my book. Is it in my book? I don't think I put it in my book. Anyhow, it's kind of a long story. How I came about this, but it was shown. I was literally shown what to do about it. So we're going to do it for everyone on here. And then the other thing we're going to do is these harmonizers, and this is throughout the chakra systems. Harmonizers, what we can ask a harmonizer to do is to render harmless aberrant frequencies, exogenous or endogenous chemicals, spike proteins themselves, and other substances that are now, in our environment, microplastics, these forever chemicals.
Yeah.
All
Dr.
of
T,
this
we're
stuff.
super grateful for you. Thank you.
Oh, this is lucky to be able to do this. So I'm asking the angels to activate helicase enzymes for messenger RNA disruption in everyone. And then we ask for morphic field perturbation to help keep all this stuff away from you, so that we can all move through life without being clear of these harmful frequencies and some of these poisons. And I would ask you to take a breath in and a breath out. Lipidemia is liver. Look to liver for the gentleman there, Stephen. So what else are we doing here today, ladies? What kind of trouble are you guys? What kind of, I know you're stirring the pot. And that's all you two do. You come on here, get everybody worked up, and then you sign off.
Good stuff, but not without introducing them to wonderful people like you, right? That's what. So yeah, no, I think that, the premise here was to definitely to be able to get a chance to share your work, hear how this work has really changed lives, and, do what we've done here today. Thank you. I mean, we're just in great gratitude for, we always say that this is the show, and this summit's always going to be a free resource, right? And we do this every time, and the talk shows every Tuesday and Thursday, but to be able to put forth wonderful people like you is just a cherry on top. Like it's everything that people may have been rejecting before. And now some people are starting to really like, you know what, the way I was doing it before wasn't working. Let me see about, what is this gentleman saying, right? He's talking with the angels, he's doing healings, that kind of thing. And we really have just been blessed to be the bridge for that, for the woo in the community, right?
Yeah, it's truly an honor. It's a blessing. It's so funny when I first started doing this. But I was on a podcast with a medical doctor. He says, "Oh, hold on, angels." Now you lost everybody right there.
Yeah.
He said 90% of my doctors just got off my podcast. I said, "That's okay. I only need one."
Yeah.
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 And you mean to tell me that none of those guys have had an angelic experience? All of us have had an
All
angelic.
of
It doesn't
us.
matter. It doesn't matter who they are. You back them into the conversation. You're like, oh, so you almost got hit by a car on your bicycle when you were a little kid? Oh, really? You never had anything. You were sure way things were going to be one way, but they turned out something else. That was your
Yeah.
angel.
Yeah.
That's the angels.
Yep.
So. What's my YouTube name? What's my YouTube name? I don't even know.
We'll be sure to get that
I'm on
out there too,
Instagram,
everybody.
YouTube. I'm on all of it, but I have no idea where I am at.
Well, because you've got a wonderful assistant that supports you for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. God bless her. Yep. Esther takes care of it all.
Nice.
Well, I have to be on time because I've got a full afternoon of appointments. I'm so glad I had the time to get on here for a moment and to see you two.
Yes.
And to bring the feeling for everyone.
Let's just make sure we tell everybody how to get the art
special offer.
Yes.
You got special offers out there. There it is. Hot Hustle / Dr. T. Yeah, I'm at ahumanengineer.com is my website, of course. And always a pleasure, ladies. I'll be in touch.
Always a pleasure.
Big love to everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, wait around. We just have a couple announcements that we want to give you about the summit. The first one is we have Hertz frequencies for you at $8. It's 8 hours of different Hertz frequencies. We would love for you to get it as an enhancer. It just helps some of the extra noise that goes on during these summits. A lot of things are changing, a lot of energies are moving, and this just helps your nervous system. So we've put it out for $8. It's 8 different Hertz frequencies. Each one of those Hertz frequencies are an hour long. I'd love for you to check it out. You can find it at houthustle.com / frequencies, or you can
find it on the live page.
I think it's on the live page or in the newsletter.
Yep. And if you're not signed up to do the newsletter, which I think everybody that's on this Zoom call is, be sure to do that at howhustle.com / experience. So if you're joining us on the live stream on YouTube, be sure to jump on the newsletter. That way you can find out who is joining us tomorrow. So who is joining us tomorrow?
Yes. But first, while I tell you that, I want to make sure you all know about our community.
Yes.
Which you can also find on the live page. We're trying to put every single thing on the live page so that nothing gets lost or causes a customer service drama. But if you go down in the live page, actually, you know what? I can just share the live page
let's
with you.
do this.
And let's talk about it. Because even though you're on Zoom, a lot of you will probably want to be over here on the live page at some point, because that's where all the juiciness is. So here's the live page now. We're meeting, of course, we were here all day today. We're meeting here for the next 4 days. So it goes all the way through Friday the 19th. We start at 9 a.m. Pacific, and we continue to about this time every day. This is where you can join Zoom. This is where you can join the community. This is where you get all the special offers that we go through during the call.
So the one that's live is the one that's kind of highlighted big.
Yes.
But you can see Elizabeth
before.
Yes.
And Tabatha's before that. Now, these are our partners within the program, which we're not talking about today, but they will start showing up later in the week. Each of these do link to their sites. So if you do like one of our sponsors and you do want to be a part of that, then all you need to do is click on the link. And you know what? You might want to click on the Pet Lab because it really has helped my dogs and their licky paws.
Yeah.
If you're not getting text messages, you can of course get it here. And then here's what we've got
for Monday and
the
Tuesday.
Offers will be added here. And so tomorrow we're starting the day with Jewel Arns. And then we continue with Michelle Niver and Rianya Chen. So make sure that you join us tomorrow. That'll be just as much fun as today will be. Well,
Yeah,
every
the
day.
whole series is
So
really, really
the whole series is here. The whole calendar is here. And oh, if you jump over to the community, I just want to show you one thing.
How do they get to the community from the live page?
Yes, I just clicked on the link. It's
Oh, we didn't see it. Sorry.
Leonka didn't see it.
I didn't see.
Okay.
It's fine. It's on the top, right?
Okay, it's right here. See, big video for the
Uh-huh.
day.
Uh-huh.
Here's the
Oh,
community.
it's behind the camera.
Oh, see, here's the community, Leonka.
Go ahead.
Go to the community. I do have to be off,
I thought that was his special offer.
and you click there. Now, I did over here pin the calendar. So if you want to go over here, there's a calendar link up top, and you can mark like every single day we have a show, we put it on here.
Nice.
You can mark it, you can save it, you can have all our calendars within the community. You know, we're growing here. We just started this community, so we're just now,
You're the first to know about it. So just
well, our Mystique group knew about it
just
first.
say that.
And we gave them a head start in growing their points. So you got to catch up just a little bit. But this is the community. You can get there from the live page. We have points. You can see our numbers on each one. So like Dana's already at a 3. So I think she's about the highest that you need to catch up with. Tiffany's at a 2. So get over there and comment and make some friends, and let's start up some rally rising, as Dr. T would call it over there. So that's what we're looking at, just so that you know, and so you don't get lost during the summit.
Yeah, and be sure to log your whispers there too, because we
Yes.
want to make sure that we really are using this information to really map where, things that are coming through for yourself, so that you have information about what's coming through and what things you can change, what are your angels trying to tell you, and then also for each other,
Yeah.
right? Many times there'll be information that is coming through from different speakers that you may hear again later, maybe it's a couple months from later, and it'll hit you differently. So log your whispers. We want to hear about it. Each person has their own signature resonance, and each person has a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And a whisper could be something like the rainbow we saw.
Yeah.
It could be the street sign that we saw that said whispers. It could be something deeper. It could be about the next version of your vision that you have that you don't know is coming to yet, but you get a whisper, but you've been struggling, and maybe a whisper comes through.
Or you're seeing something in your dreams.
Yep.
Many times people will comment on each other's dreams, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that was it. You're right."
Yeah.
Right. So, so lots of times the community will join in and help support the whispers. So it'll be really interesting to start seeing those emerge. Plus, you are the people that are going to be solving some of these mysteries and uncovering what's next for us to learn. Right.
Yeah.
So I think humanity joined together does create this oneness that does uncover the next steps in our journey for ascension. Let's do it faster.
Yes. Yeah. And especially if you connect a whisper that Tabatha said, and then Elizabeth said, and then Dr. T said, if you have whispers that you've noticed
Kind of like that.
overlap, it's, and the words that they say is really what we really are interested in
Sure.
putting together.
It's kind of like one of those whodunit maps, right? So when you're looking for the private eye investigators, they put those different pictures of people on the wall, and they're like stringed to here, and this person knows this person, and this person connects to here, and I heard this over here. It's kind of like that, but we get to do it in real time on school. Yeah.
Yeah. As a community.
Yeah.
And we just think it's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens even at the end of this week.
And that's truly how we activate too.
Yeah. Some of the prizes that we have the VIP pass. And with our VIP pass, like no other summit, you get every one of our summits always. So you buy the VIP pass once, and you will get everything always.
Always. Isn't that crazy?
Always. And we do 4 or 5 a year.
Yeah.
So we're on our 7th one. So if you want to buy the summit for $97,
You'll
you
get
get
the ones from before
all 6 before.
and going forward.
And going forward.
We're crazy
and
people.
we're just going to keep adding to it, and the price may minimally go up over time. But we're not trying to really make money
Right.
on it as much as we're just trying to let you know that here's an offer for you to join How Hustle and the conversations within it.
Yeah.
We also have an inner circle that we'll talk about on Friday a little bit more. So, and we're going to do some cool channeling and some activations.
It's called
in it too.
the Mystique Society.
Mhm.
It is exactly where we do all of our up-leveling in activating each other's really cool clairs, right? Like, what are your innate gifts that we can join together and learn about? And then just being in each other's energy, we then are activating each other's clairs. Many things come online. The uncovering there that happens. I mean, just the other day we've had some amazing miraculous things happen in this community. So it's a subset and it is our inner circle.
Yeah, seriously, life changing. So if you're interested in something like that, look for our conversation on Friday. Even if you don't make it on Friday, you can definitely listen to the replay. We have the replays for the summit open exactly a week after we finish on Friday. So if you are trying to get caught up, you've got 1 week. If not, you may want to buy the VIP pass, which is $97.
Let me remind you,
Mhm.
it includes all the ones from before and all
The
the
ones
summits.
after.
Yep.
Yeah.
One
So-
time. Yep.
Yeah, one-time fee, which we think is
Once a VIP, always a VIP.
We also, within the Mystique Society, you'll see this more as people ask questions. They have priority to ask questions early. They get a 10% discount for a special offer. So sometimes people are in it just to pay for, that just has a lot of benefits.
Yeah, there's a lot of bonuses on there. Take a look. If you want to take a look at what's included
Can't look.
now, you can
Mhm.
look now, and it's at howhustle.com/join.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to get a bunch of special offers this week, it might be a way to get 10% off of them all.
Yeah. If you
So-
have questions and how you're doing, we want to know, write to us. You can do that at the school, or you can always email us at team@howhustle.com.
Perfect. And I think, is that about it?
I think that's a wrap, girl.
Okay, great. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
We're How Hustle,
Reminding you
to take a little time to enjoy the
woo.
woo.
Bye, everyone. Listen to those hertz frequencies tonight.